Part 102. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 1012. Tang Haiqiu's drama is also the leading heroine of Xiangxia, which has constructed a brand new worldview of Xiangxia. It has been 5 years since the last Walking the Devil, and the audience is also looking forward to it. Last year, the national audition for female protagonists was held, and Qin Ziyu broke into the top 3. The day after tomorrow is the last round of female lead interviews. Qin Ziyu is more confident to get the first place and become Tang Haiqiu's third leading role. Sister Ruan, I'll broadcast my apology now. Qin Ziyu collected his mood and said, I'm done apologizing, and I'm ready for the audition with peace of mind. It's the best if you can adjust it. Ruan Chengfang was very pleased. You don't need makeup, just like this, fans will feel more distressed. This is very helpful for you to abuse your fans. Qin Ziyu nodded slightly. Under the arrangement of Ruan Chengfang, the live broadcast started again. Ziyu, as long as you say no, I will believe you. Qin Ziyu's fans are chasing stars, aren't they stupid? The evidence of the hammer is not believed. If Hua Jingwen hadn't been rescued by Sci-fi, Qin Ziyu would have had a life on his hands. I'm really sorry everyone. Qin Ziyu looked at the camera, choked up. I admit that I did these things according to the company's arrangement, and I also sincerely apologize to Teacher Si, and I don't ask Teacher Si to forgive me. In the future, I will seriously be myself, hone my acting skills, and bring you better works. This is what the PR team came up with. As long as Qin Ziyu is portrayed as a puppet controlled by Ju's Hung Company, the fans' sympathy can be obtained to the greatest extent, and ordinary fans can be further tortured into Qin Ziyu's diehard fans. Facts have proved that the result is indeed as Qin Ziyu's team expected. The fans are very distressed. Ziyu, don't cry, I know you can't resist the company, so just be yourself in the future. The most to scold is Ju's Hung Company. None of this has anything to do with Ziyu. There are too many people copying Sci-fi's route, and we Ziyu are the only ones who are on fire. What does this mean? It shows that she has strength in her own right. Hua Jingwen said that Ziyu pushed her to die. Is there any evidence? I have reason to think that you are teaming up with Ziyu's opponent to frame Ziyu. Don't push the company out. I've already seen through your strategy. Who doesn't know that Ju's Hung Company likes to forcibly create traffic stars? Qin Ziyu copied Sci-fi, Mu Qing copied Xiaoyu, the fakes are only fakes after all. The rest of the fans are getting more and more heartfelt. But in this incident, Qin Ziyu's passerby was indeed collapsed, and the loss was not small. Qin Ziyu had no choice but to swallow his hatred in his stomach. She checked Weibo again, and when she found that Sci-fi hadn't made any movement, she took a deep breath. Doesn't she even have the right to be looked at by Sci-fi? On the other side, Sci-fi studio. Sister Sang, do you want Teacher Si to come forward? The agent assistant asked. I think Qin Ziyu is determined to get rid of Teacher Si. Ching Ching doesn't need to stand up for a Qin Ziyu, Sang Yan said plainly. Ching Ching only needs strength and works to crush other people who want to suck her blood. Give me a look. Qin Ziyu is not worthy yet. That's right, the manager's assistant smiled. They probably don't know yet. As soon as Teacher Si came back, Director Tang immediately contacted her to invite her to play the leading role in Chengxian. Sang Yanqing nodded slightly. Everything depends on Ching Ching. This time when she comes back, I obviously feel that she has settled down. I believe she can break through herself and reach a higher level. Only Sci-fi can surpass Sci-fi. She is looking forward to it, and the global show business circle will explode again. The next day, early in the morning, Bai Jinyu slept for a day and a night, and finally woke up again. Wearing a white night dress, she rubbed her eyes and shouted as she went downstairs, Juju, where are you? I'm hungry. She obviously retained the habit of pixie period. Once she was hungry, she would skillfully ask Saifu for gold. But after searching around, she couldn't find Si fucking, and Bai Jinyu became restless. Xiaoyu, who was sitting on the sofa, raised his eyes, habitually took out a gold brick from his pocket, and pushed it over. Wow, Bai Jinyu's eyes lit up all of a sudden. How do you know that I like gold? Thank you. She quickly touched the gold, put it on her lips and bit it, her cheeks puffed up, and there was a small click, click. Soon the gold brick was eaten up by her. Xiaoyu paused, and took out the second gold brick. Bai Jinyu was extremely fast and started again, but Xiaoyu was completely ignored. Xiaoyu clasped his fingers into rings and tapped the table lightly, his eyelashes drooping. Xiaobai not only doesn't know everyone except Si fucking now, but his mind has also stopped when he was young. This will be a very long recovery period. Xiaoyu let out a breath slowly, with a carefree expression. He has time, he can wait. There is ample time. Bai Jinyu puffed her cheeks and concentrated on gnawing on the gold. When the pixie radar suddenly struck, she felt something was wrong. She looked around very vigilantly, looked carefully, and finally found that there was nothing unusual, so she went on to eat gold. Alan, I'm here. Yu Chu Lingyun knocked on the door and walked in, meeting Bai Jinyu's innocent eyes. There are gold flakes at the corners of her mouth, shining brightly. Chu Lingyun. Is the way he walked in wrong? Otherwise, how could you see an 18-year-old girl eating gold? It must not be gold, but gold made of chocolate. How can anyone eat gold for food? Chu Lingyun comforted himself, and called out again, Alan, are you there? A cool voice came down, behind you. Chu Lingyun jumped up in fright. Si fucking pushed him away with one hand, went in and put a box on the table. Xiaobai, dinner is ready. This is a box of ore, which was freshly mined from the 8 major mines. It contains very rich minerals and can repair the soul. Juju, I knew you were the best for me. Bai Jinyu hugged her neck. This uncle is also very good, he just gave me 2 pieces of gold. Xiaoyu. 3 seconds later, he raised his head and looked at her. What do you call me? Juju is my mother, and you are Juju's younger brother, so you are my uncle. Bai Jinyu counted carefully with her fingers. I'm not mistaken. After she finished speaking, she picked up the ore and began to eat. Si fucking didn't give Xiaoyu face very much, and laughed out loud. Xiaoyu was silent. A vein jumped up in the hand holding the cup. With a click, the cup shattered. Chu Lingyun was stunned, and he also rubbed his eyes, wondering if he had read it wrong. Don't worry about it. Si fucking patted Xiaoyu's shoulder like a big brother. She eats more ore and gold. As long as her mind returns to normal, she will not be far from recovering her memory. Xiaoyu squeezed the space between his eyebrows. I'm going out first, let me be quiet. He got up, took a long leg, and left the living room. Chu Lingyun's expression was still a little dazed, and he said cautiously, Alan, let me chat with you about the script. This. No, Bai Jinyu finished eating, and grabbed Si fucking's shoulder. I can't leave Juju, you big villain, you want to separate me and Juju. Chu Lingyun choked up, I didn't. Is there anything my good daughter can't listen to? Si fucking looked at Chu Lingyun warningly, don't bully her, tell me quickly. Chu Lingyun looked as if he had been struck by lightning. You left the entertainment industry for 3 years, and you really went to a hidden marriage to have a child. But even if you have a child, you can't be so big all of a sudden, right? Bai Jinyu lay obediently on Si fucking's back, and raised her head in a daze. She looks like an 18-year-old girl, but her mind seems to be only 8 years old. Si fucking picked up the paper and wiped off the gold leaf on Xiaobai's face, and said calmly, I can't speak, I can sew her mouth shut for you. Chu Lingyun shut up. He dug out the most important script and coughed lightly, didn't I come here to give you the script? Si fucking took it, flipped through it, and raised his eyebrows, it's a good script, did you think of it yourself? Some of the plots in the script are actually similar to the battle between gods and demons in the Eternal Continent 3 years ago. The inspiration came from a dream of mine, Chu Lingyun said. Do you remember 3 years ago? We all left the Earth in a spaceship, but finally came back. I had a very magical dream that night. He poured a glass of water, gulped it down and continued, it's amazing, I actually dreamed of God, so I immediately wrote the script down. How about it? You can continue to revise it? Well, it can indeed be modified. I fucking snapped his fingers. I've already figured out where to make this movie, but before making your movie, I'm going to make a TV series first. Why did you go to shoot a TV series first when you came back? Chu Lingyun was a little bit grumpy. I'm still waiting for you to make a movie and win next year's Glenn Award in one fell swoop. I fucking glanced at him, because at least director Tang won't call me at 2:30 in the morning, excitedly saying that he suddenly found inspiration and arrested me to film a movie. Chu Lingyun. He touched his head in embarrassment. I will correct it, don't worry, I will never wake you up in the early morning. Bai Jinyu listened, and felt sleepy again. She opened her hand. Jeju, I'm sleepy, I want to sleep. I've accepted the script, I'll contact you another day. I fucking helped Xiaobai stand up. I'll read her fairy tales first, you can do whatever you want. Chu Lingyun. He was leaning on the sofa, his eyes glazed over. He must have not woken up today, otherwise why would the 3 views collapse? Chu Lingyun stabilized his mind, took out his mobile phone, and called Gu Wenzu. Hey, teacher, have you ever seen someone who eats gold and ore? All right. Teacher, what I said is really true, why don't you believe it? At 12 noon the next day, the audition location for Changxian. Qin Xiao arrived early in the morning. She stood nervously waiting at the door, her palms were hot. Whether she can use Changxian to turn over in one fell swoop and stabilize her top position is all in one fell swoop. Today, there were only 3 people auditioning, and there was no media waiting outside to take pictures, so Qin Xiao heaved a sigh of relief. She didn't want to continue to be on the top of the list on this cusp. Just as Qin Xiao was silently reciting the script, Ruan Chenfang's expression suddenly changed. Why is she here? She didn't come back when the heroine auditioned. Qin Xiao was startled, and suddenly looked up. Not far away, Si fucking and Sang Yanking came together. Si fucking is clearly the spokesperson of RM, but she is still dressed very simply, a t-shirt and jeans. But no matter how simple her dress was, it was hard to hide her stunning beauty. The moment the girl appeared, the sun dimmed. Qin Xiao's fingers tightened all of a sudden. She gritted her teeth and stared at Si fucking, her palms were covered with hot sweat. Yo, Changfang, what a coincidence, we meet again. Sang Yanking took a step forward. You also come to audition for the heroine of Changxian, then I first wish you success. Sang Yanking, you, Ruan Changfang was very angry, but there was nothing he could do. Sang Yanking had already brought Si fucking into the room, but they had to wait outside. What's going on? Ruan Changfang suppressed her anger, and stopped Tang Haiqiu's assistant. Why did teacher Si fucking come here? She came to audition for the female lead. That's right, teacher Si and director Tang are close friends. The assistant smiled. After she came back, director Tang was very happy, and immediately contacted teacher Si. But it's up to teacher Si himself whether she can play the heroine or not. Mean. Qin Xiao's nails dug into his palms. What does it mean to look at Si fucking himself? If Si fucking wanted to act, she had to retire. Si fucking doesn't act, she picks up what Si fucking doesn't want. Isn't this all humiliating her? This, isn't that good? Ruan Chenfang's smile froze. The heroine audition is over, and at this time the Cypriot. What's wrong? The assistant looked at her strangely. It's the crew's blessing that Mr. Si can act. No matter how many directors you invite, Mr. Si won't be able to invite you. When your acting skills reach her level, you will definitely act casually. Ruan Chengfang couldn't even laugh now. Qin Zhao only felt extremely humiliated. Sister Ruan. At this time, someone called from inside, Qin Zhao. Go in first. Ruan Chengfang came back to her senses and said in a low voice, "Si fucking may not be able to act, so don't get confused." Qin Zhao could only suppress his grievances, tidied up his clothes, and walked in. Inside the house, Tang Haiqiu was chatting with Si fucking. He pushed his glasses. "Fucking, come and help me see how your junior's acting skills are. You will have the final say for a while. You really know how to squeeze me." Si fucking blinked, "but I can try their acting skills for you." Tang Haiqiu was taken aback. "You want to? It's already here, so I'll help you bring in newcomers." Si fucking raised his eyebrows. "I'll play against them." Tang Haiqiu was a little surprised. "Are you serious?" "Seriously," Si fucking said casually. "Let's get started." Tang Haiqiu nodded and said, "Qin Zhao, come play with teacher Si first." Qin Zhao froze. "Good morning." After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 1013. All the peace before was broken in an instant at this moment, and cold sweat flowed down her back, soaking through her clothes. As a traffic star promoted by Juzhong Entertainment, Qin Zhao wanted to copy Si fucking's popular route, so he naturally watched all the TV series that Si fucking starred in carefully. Not to mention the female general of Zhenguo, which won the Nine Heavens Award in one fell swoop. Walking the Devil, which is Si fucking's first heroine after his debut, is already a masterpiece of crushing level. More than 10 years ago, it was said in the circle that the Sword of Sword Fairy cut off all the actors' dreams of fairy tales. Today, Walking the Devil has become an insurmountable classic in Xiangxia dramas. Changxian is a new script that Tang Haiqiu has polished for 5 years, building a brand new world of immortals. He attaches great importance to this drama, otherwise the national audition would not be held. But in fact, when the heroine was auditioned, many famous actors avoided this drama. Just because Si fucking let the drama Walking the Devil directly become gods, when the actors are filming a series of film and television dramas, it is inevitable that they will be caught out and compared with the previous ones. Before Si fucking came back, Qin Zhao was used to being sought after by fans, and became arrogant, thinking that Si fucking was not her opponent at all, and would be replaced by her sooner or later. Qin Zhao was still not convinced. Si fucking is also known as Yunlin's successor, isn't he still successful? So does she. But it wasn't until she actually faced Si fucking directly that she realized that the title of the great demon king of the entertainment industry was not false. When Si fucking glanced at her, she could feel the horror in her bones. Qin Zhao never expected to play against Si fucking at all, and she was completely unprepared. She just froze in place and didn't move. "Teacher Qin," the assistant called again, "are you ready?" Qin Zhao snapped back to her senses. She dug her nails into her palm, and pursed her lower lip. "Okay, I don't know which scene to do. I only prepared the script for the heroine." She raised her head, looked at Si fucking frankly, and said with her eyes, "I'm the heroine, and you can only support me." Tang Haiqiu also turned his head. "Ching Ching, which scene are you going to try?" "Let's be the second girl." Si fucking flipped through the script quickly, tapped the table with his fingers, and smiled. "This scene is pretty good. The second female lead in this play is a first-class devil, wandering between good and evil, once sealed by the Emperor of Heaven, and then awakened again. After she woke up, the 3 realms of immortals, demons, and humans were in turmoil. Tang Haiqiu is good at portraying characters. Even a passerby with only 2 or 3 lines is not a template character. Compared with the absolute heroine drama Walking the Devil, Changxian is more of a group portrait drama. And the supporting roles in Walking the Devil back then were also instant hits. This part, Tang Haiqiu looked at it, Why did you remember to try the second female role? I'm not a gentleman in the first place, so it's not too much to play a villain, right? I fucking stood up, I've already memorized the lines, and I can start anytime. Tang Haikyu nodded, and motioned for the assistant to hand over the play selected by Fu to Qin Ziyu. Qin Ziyu took it over, his hands still trembling. After reading it, her pupils shrank. Okay, I can start too. This scene is a confrontation between the heroine and the second heroine, a scene near the finale. The heroine and the second heroine have the same root and origin, but because of their different positions and beliefs, they stand on opposite sides. In the end, the second female lead died for the heroine, and disappeared from then on. Qin Ziyu recalled this scene, and his palms began to sweat again. Fucking has already moved. Obviously there was no change in her makeup, but with such a change in her eyes, she instantly became a female devil feared by the whole world. She raised her chin slightly, smiled, and approached slowly. Her voice was light. If I kill you, tell me, who in this world would dare to say no? That trash of the heavenly emperor. She smiled very shallowly, and her eyes were calm, but a kind of bursting madness erupted from her whole body. The overwhelming coercion came overwhelmingly, and even the staff felt a kind of fear. According to the lines in the script, the heroine will say something like this. Then you come and kill me. Let's see if I killed you or you killed me. It's also an unhurried tone, and the momentum never fails. This is an evenly matched rivalry between the heroine and the second heroine. The atmosphere was very tense, and everyone was brought into the play by Fucking's words, their hearts raised in their throats, and they were very much looking forward to the next performance. However, just hearing a plop, Qin Ziyu's legs softened, and he just knelt on the ground. Her face was pale, and the blood on her lips was completely gone, and she couldn't stop trembling. There was silence all around. Tang Haikyu frowned instantly, and was about to get up and scold him, but he suddenly realized that this was not filming, but just an audition. He held back again. He knew that in terms of acting skills, not to mention his peers, even some seniors were far inferior to Fucking. But he didn't expect Qin Ziyu to be completely crushed with just one sentence. It's too far away. Are you scared? Fucking withdrew his momentum, and stretched out a hand towards Qin Ziyu who was on the ground to pull her up. It's just acting, what are you afraid of? Qin Ziyu's lips trembled violently. You. Only she knew that at the moment of the scene, she felt a huge pressure. At that time, her mind was blank and she forgot all the lines. How so? Go out, Tang Haikyu said, go back and wait for news. Qin Ziyu paled, completely unaware of how she left the audition room. Mr. You are too powerful. The assistant patted his chest and said with lingering fear, just now I thought you were going to kill us all. Fucking was choked up, how can it be so scary? Tang Haikyu also let out a long sigh of relief. I have lowered my standards again and again. You are back, you are my only candidate. Thank you Director Tang for promoting me. Fucking looked very serious. I will never forget your help to me. She has achieved Demon Crossing, and Demon Crossing has also achieved her. Tang Haikyu has contributed a lot. Okay, Tang Haikyu laughed, come tomorrow and let's discuss it in detail. You have given me new inspiration, and I have to revise the script. Fucking nodded, alright, I have something else to do, so I'm leaving first. The door of the room was opened and closed. Tang Haikyu's frown was finally relaxed. Director Tang, you don't care about the affairs of the outside world. The assistant lowered his voice. You don't know, the outside world calls Qin Ziyu a little Fucking, saying that she can take over the big responsibility from teacher descendants. Tang Haikyu was very surprised. Among this group of new generation actors, her acting skills are remarkable, but compared with Ching, she is far behind. Isn't it? The assistant shook his head. It's fine for her to market herself like this, but she always steps on teacher Si. Tang Haikyuu nodded lightly. He devoted himself to the study of scripts and professional skills, and never cared about the right and wrong of the entertainment industry, but he hated marketing guys very much. In his opinion, getting out of the circle with real strength is the real way out of the circle. No matter how good the marketing is, it is just a false bubble that will burst at the first touch. In the past 3 years, Tang Haikyuu has also heard about some so-called big hit dramas, but unfortunately, the popularity is only in the 2 or 3 months of the broadcast. Only film and television dramas that have been accumulated over time can be called a explosion. If you don't mention this, I won't choose her, Tang Haikyuu said again. She can't take kinking scene at all, and she is not suitable for the second and third females. Both the second and third girls have a lot of scenes with the heroine. If they can't catch up with the show, there is no way for this show to go on. That's great if you think so, the assistant breathed a sigh of relief, but it's really strange. Chin Zio's acting skills are not that bad, even a newcomer actor can take on the scene of the boss teacher, and she can't even speak the lines. Forget. The newcomers can take on Kinking's play because Ching Ching has attracted them into the play. Tang Haikyuu smiled. A powerful actor can not only enter the play in a second, but also bring the people around him into the play. Not to mention newcomers, even a talented lead who has never acted before can perform perfectly. No wonder, the assistant was taken aback. When those newcomers played against others, the effect was not as good as playing against Mr. Si. Tang Haikyuu's smile deepened. That's why she is so good. Today's audition gave me new inspiration. I think it over, and let Ching Ching act as the second female lead. In this way, the conflict will be more dramatic. Tang Haikyuu handed the document to the assistant. Correct the list of actors and prepare for the official announcement. After the assistant crossed out Chin Zio's name, he began to sort out the new performance list. At night, in the villa. After Bai Jinyu finished eating a basket of ore, she went upstairs to sleep again. Si fucking stretched his waist and prepared to rest. Yu Xian's voice sounded from behind her. How is it? It's better to sleep after eating, and eat after waking up. Si fucking nodded his chin in distress. After Ni Nu became a human, her appetite seems to be even bigger. Bai Jinyu's food intake has always been a mystery. Her stomach is a bottomless pit. Even Si fucking didn't know how edible this stupid pixie was. We can still afford it, Yu Xian hummed, put down his teacup, thoughtfully. It's not necessarily the case for others. Others, Si fucking was vigilant. Ninth brother, are you going to send Bai away? How is it possible? Yu Xian smiled slightly. It was just a sudden sigh of emotion. It seems that the girls in their family really don't know anything about this matter. Si fucking squeezed his shoulders. I'm going to have a massage and then sleep. She also secretly downloaded Oracle Elf, ready to see how magical this game is. The next morning, Si fucking was woken up by the sound of birds outside the window. The sun shines in from the window, warm and bright. A hand hugged her waist from behind. The fingertips were cold, but the palm was warm, and the two temperatures were ignited on her body. Si fucking was about to get up, but as soon as she moved, the arms around her waist tightened instantly, pulling her into his chest. Her whole body was surrounded by him, and only separated by 2 layers of thin pajamas. She could clearly feel the slight undulation of his tight muscle lines as he breathed. He hugged her tightly and didn't intend to let go of her. Si fucking was forced to roll back into his embrace, and stretched out his hand with difficulty to poke his shoulder. Hello. Yu Xian heard it, but still hugged her, just lowered her head, and gently rubbed her chin against her hair. Huh. The cold voice was a little darker, hoarse after waking up, and a little lazy. Si fucking was expressionless. She felt she was being seduced. But she has a very strong heart, which has been tempered long ago, and she is completely unmoved by male sex. She complained, you hugged me so tightly that my arms were numb. I'm sorry. Yu Xian still didn't open her eyes, She just smiled lowly when she heard this. It's my fault. He would never bully her in this kind of thing, so he quickly changed his position and continued to hug her. Let her lie on his body, put his hands around her waist again. How about this? Si fucking. She looked serious. Today I have to go to Director Tang to discuss it, and I can't continue to sleep. Yu Xian didn't speak, and opened her eyes slightly. His eyes are very beautiful, with deep-set pupils and faint lights, which have the power to deceive people's hearts. Si fucking was tempted for a moment, but she quickly came back to her senses and asked in a low voice, "Did you have a nightmare again?" After a long silence, when Si fucking almost thought that Yu Xian had fallen asleep again, he heard him say in a very soft voice, "N." It was so peaceful that it seemed to him that everything he had was a dream. He was afraid that when he opened his eyes, everything would burst like a bubble. Maybe it's because he hasn't really settled down in 2 lifetimes, and it's unbelievable for him to be able to sleep with the person he's in love with right now. Look, I am real. Si fucking stretched out his hand and pinched his own face. The face is real, and the voice is real, too. You are not dreaming. If you don't believe me, feel it. He listened to her very much, and raised his hand to caress her face. Another soft kiss fell on her eyelashes. Okay, I've been comforted. Yu Xian smiled slightly, and finally got up with her in his arms. Get up. Shang Lu is responsible for driving Si fucking to the temporary crew. This time Tang Haiqiu plans to go to Bizhu to shoot scenes first, and there are still some scenes to be shot in the extreme north. But Tang Haiqiu was still a little dissatisfied, and sighed. There are high-rise buildings everywhere, and the environment has been damaged too badly, and we have to rely on post-production special effects to save the scene. Director Tang, hearing this, Si fucking looked lazily. I know a place that is especially suitable for filming fairy tales. It doesn't even use special effects, and there are extra actors. Would you like to take the camera crew and come with me? Have a look. Eternal Continent is a good place. Very suitable. Tang Haiqiu became interested. Go, of course, I believe in your vision in choosing the shooting location. Where is it? Shanglu stood aside, expressionless, already worried about Tang Haiqiu's mental and psychological state in the future. Very good, Miss Si is going to be scary again. Good morning. There are still a dozen votes to break 500. Ask for a ticket, babies, give it a break. Thanks for your support. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 1014. For Freedom Continent, the Eternal Continent is not a secret. After the holographic game Eternal was discontinued, the students of the Eternal Academy also entered the Eternal Continent directly through the passage when they set out tasks. Although the Earth experienced an extremely great catastrophe 3 years ago, time flies in these 3 years, and the prosperous world is stable. Everyone only regards what happened 3 years ago as a dream. Si fucking and Yu Xian prevented the disaster, and never exposed the public to real danger. Neither the Great Xia Empire nor the ordinary residents of the Western continent knew anything about the Eternal Continent. As a member of the Qinjun League, Shanglu also set foot on the Eternal Continent for the first time 2 years ago. At that time, his worldview was hit hard. Tang Haiqiu could naturally feel the gaze from Shanglu, and he glanced at Shanglu suspiciously. He thought to himself, why does this kid look at him with such pity? I promised to satisfy Director Tang. Si fucking began to contact the Minister of Tourism of Liberty Continent. Eternal Continent, gently pressed his fingers on his lips, and smiled slightly. Director Tang, no matter what you see next, you must stay calm. Although the Eternal Continent is not a world of cultivating immortals, there is spiritual power and the power of countless laws, and spiritual practitioners can go to heaven and enter the earth. In addition, nature has not been destroyed by technology, whether it is forests or canyons, all landscapes are perfectly preserved. It is indeed a very suitable place to shoot Xiangxia dramas or other fantasy dramas. Shooting in the Eternal Continent does not require any post-production special effects, just use the power of the law directly. Si fucking pondered for a while, then took out a bottle of medicine from his bag, and handed it to Tang Haiqiu very solemnly. Director Tang, this is the 7th version of quick-acting Juxin pill that I developed. When we get on the plane you eat one to protect your heart. Tang Haiqiu. He accepted the medicine with a confused face, and became vigilant. Could it be that you discovered some sky city? Are we going to heaven? Shanglu was choked and gave a thumbs up. As expected of a director, imagination is powerful. But you can be bolder. Si fucking rubbed his chin, blinked his eyes. Let's say it is. Tang Haiqiu didn't believe it, but he could understand Si fucking's ability to blow up the scene, and he accepted the medicine decisively. When are we leaving? Our shuttle bus is scheduled for 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Si fucking glanced at his watch. Business in the Ministry of Tourism is booming. Let's go, Director Tang, let's go to Liberty Island first. Tang Haiqiu turned pale with shock. The place you mentioned is in Liberty Island. He really didn't pay much attention to the outside news. He just heard that Si fucking was invited to Liberty Island to participate in a variety show. Not here. Si fucking snapped his fingers. However, only Liberty Island has a channel to go there. After the Ministry of Tourism officially promotes this project to the world, we will establish a new channel. Now, if you promote it all at once, everyone's worldview will collapse, and it needs to be done step by step. Tang Haiqiu fell silent. Worldview collapsed? When the time comes, he will have to find out where it is, and he needs a quick-acting heart-rescuing pill as a fairy director. Mr. Si, the assistant came over with the script, excitedly. Mr. Si, Director Tang changed the script overnight yesterday, and you will play both female 1 and female 2. Oh, Si fucking raised his eyebrows, took over the script and looked through it, thoughtfully. It's not impossible, I will be a clone now, and we can save a lot of money for special effects. The assistant's smile froze. What did he hear? Seeing the blank expression of the director team, Shanglu tried his best to hold back his laughter, and swore that he was extremely professional, and he would never laugh unless he couldn't help it. Well, let's do it like this. Si fucking squeezed his wrist. Shanglu, go and transfer a plane, let's go to Liberty Island first. Shanglu regained consciousness and stood up straight. Yes, Miss Si. He also can't wait to see what kind of expression the director team will have when they arrive at the Eternal Continent. On the other side, Juzhong Entertainment, Qin Zai's studio. Juzhong Entertainment's public relations ability is indeed very strong, and the topic about Qin Zai on Weibo has disappeared. There are new news every day, and the people who eat melons don't pay attention to Qin Zai alone, and the muses never give her a look. On the contrary, this is what Qin Zai worried about. What a celebrity is afraid of is not black fans, but not being popular. Although Qin Zai filmed 2 Big Bang TV series, he was nominated for only 1 Golden Flower Award for Best Actress, and did not win a major award. This means that she does not rely entirely on her strength to speak, but also needs to rely on fans. Si fucking is different. Perhaps when 66 Days to Survive became popular, she was still known as a variety show cafe. But after Walking the Devil swept the domestic film and television awards, she proved to everyone that she didn't need to rely on her appearance or popularity at all, and her strength could prove everything. This is what Qin Zai has worked hard for 3 years but failed to succeed. It's been a day, and director Tang hasn't called again. Ruan Chengfang was also a little irritable, pacing back and forth. Is it really impossible? Juzhong Company worked hard to exclude other threatening actresses for Qin Zai, and successfully sent her to the final audition. But once Si fucking came back, Tang Haiqiu would no longer have a second choice. Ruan Jinfang's teeth were almost crushed. Si fucking didn't come back sooner or later, but he came back when Qin Ziya was about to completely replace her. It wasn't intentional, what could it be? No. Qin Ziya took a deep breath. I was suppressed by Si fucking, I didn't act at all, and was directly invited out by the director. What's going on? Ruan Jinfang's expression changed. Why are you still playing against her? Isn't it the heroine in the audition? Qin Ziya didn't want to recall the scene at all, so he kept silent all the time. The fear that Si fucking gave her was too deep. Even if it had been a day, she could still recall the extremely strong sense of oppression when they played against each other. This kind of oppression was so strong that she even felt that she could no longer continue acting. Qin Ziya's hands trembled. She once heard from seniors in the industry that there is such a kind of actor who can easily bring newcomers into the play, and can also make a newcomer completely give up acting as a career. If the newcomer can carry it through, then the acting skills will become gods overnight. But she didn't carry it through. Qin Ziya's nails had turned her palms red. She didn't believe that Si fucking didn't deliberately target her during the scene. What can we do now? You only have one fairy tale drama left. Ruan Changfang was restless. The other fairy tale dramas are all disguised as fairy tale romance, and they are ancient puppet dramas. They won't help you improve. Sister Ruan. Qin Ziya suddenly raised his head. Let's just shoot that the wind and the sea. The wind and the sea. Ruan Changfang frowned, and finally nodded slowly. Okay, then this one. The Wind and the Sea is a modern urban drama adapted from a best-selling book by a popular author. It tells the story of a generation of strong women who get rich. It is a heroine production. With the influence of the original IP, The Wind and the Sea exploded before it was shot. Hey, it's still easy for Xiangxia Dramas to produce big hits. Ruan Changfang sighed while contacting the director of The Wind and the Sea. It's a pity, but it's okay. The themes of the dramas made by Si fucking are different, and we can't compare. She has been in this circle for more than 10 years, and she still remembers the confrontation between Si fucking and Tong Luyun. The female general of the kingdom and the great Zhao dynasty, whether it is in terms of plot acting or mainstream awards, the former crushed the latter. Qin Ziya nodded lightly, with a cold expression. I know, that's why I chose modern dramas. Now Si fucking finally had no way to target her. Qin Ziya's eyes are firm, she will never give up. 3 hours later, the plane arrived at the airport in the main city of Liberty State. Si fucking jumped off the plane, waved at the person in front of the car, and ran over. Aju. Yu Ziyan hugged her firmly, touched her head, and smiled against her forehead. What's wrong? You ran so fast. Hug you. Si fucking looked up at her. Is it real? Yu Ziyan was slightly taken aback, but her heart was shocked. The fingertips also seemed to be electrified, and swept the whole body along the arm. He tightened his arms holding her, and laughed in a low voice. Well, it's true. A casual sentence he said in the morning can be remembered so clearly by her. How could it be untrue? He lowered his head and pressed her lips against hers softly, like a light cloud. He is obviously a big black-hearted monster, but his kisses are always so gentle. Fortunately, the black-hearted monster also knew that this was the airport, so he broke apart with the touch of his lips. I'm going to the Eternal Continent to shoot a TV series. Si fucking coughed. Don't worry, I prepared quick-acting heart-rescuing pills for Director Tang and the others in advance, so they won't be scared. Hearing this, Yu Ziyan raised her brows slightly, and slowly trimmed her hair. I guess they will still be scared. While the two were talking, Tang Haiqiu, his assistant and other crew members had already got off the plane. Under the arrangement of Shanglu, they got into the exclusive bus to the Eternal Tourism Department. In Liberty Island, Si fucking would not hold back. She and Yu Ziyan directly arrived at the entrance of the tourism department through teleportation. There was a sea of people at the gate, and each tour guide was assigned 10 people. The tour guide is a spiritual practitioner from the eternal continent, who has perfectly integrated into the technological age of the earth and is responsible for leading the people on earth into the eternal continent. But after all, the eternal continent is a magical world of spiritual cultivation, which is vaster and more dangerous than the earth. Therefore, every 10 tourist teams will be secretly escorted by a strong person above the soul realm. Oh, Si fucking waved his hand at a woman wearing an ancient court sun hat. Why are you here suddenly? Odile turned her head back, walked forward unhurriedly, and brushed her hair. I was urged by my father to go on a blind date, and I came to seek refuge with you. I met you before I contacted you. I really have a good heart. Si fucking raised his eyebrows. Why is uncle still urging you to go on a blind date? He's worried that he won't be here someday, and no one will take care of me. Odile shrugged. I'm too embarrassed to tell him who is taking care of whom. He even said that my little padded jacket is leaking. Si fucking dragged out his voice. I really pity the parents of the world. Ling Hanyi and Yin Baikan also waited for her for 3 years. They originally wanted to continue to take care of her, but she pushed them to travel around the world. Being a tomb keeper for 2000 years, not everyone can bear this kind of loneliness. Odile looked around. Your 6th senior brother is not here. Not here. Si fucking shook his head slightly. Recently, the Duchy of Miston has had many important state affairs, and he was pulled back by the king to take charge of the important responsibilities. Odile sighed in relief. Why are you hiding from him? Si Fu rubbed his chin. Did he bully you? It's impossible, he is usually a Shiba Inu, very caring. Odile was choked, with a complicated expression. It's really a very vivid description. Shiba Inu. In her mind, after Raphael covered her with the quilt, the dog's pitiful expression appeared. Stop. Odile had no expression on her face, and decided to ask Kukaki Minjio for advice on how to seal her heart and love. But recently Kukaki Minjio is addicted to the mobile game Oracle Fairy, which makes her a little uneasy. Hello, the surname is Si. A voice sounded from behind. Si Fu tilted his head back. You had already come in front of her. Aren't you going to film a movie? That's right. Si fucking pointed to director Tang, who was already in the VIP channel but still knew nothing about it. Xiangxia drama, of course it will be filmed in the Eternal Continent. Yu nodded slightly. It's a good idea. If you need help, just call me. Si fucking thought about it seriously. Need you to be a special effects maker? Yu was expressionless. Get lost. Si fucking was very sad and accused her. You murdered me. How could you murder me? Don't pretend to cry. I won't take your set. Although Yu said so, she still gave her a box of snacks. I'm leaving. The teacher told me to go to Eternal Academy. 10 minutes later, it was Tang Haikyu's turn to take the bus. Si fucking took the place of the tour guide, and called Odile by the way. Tang Haikyu was sitting upright, with anticipation and panic in his heart. Fucking, where are we going? Si fucking didn't speak until the bus passed through a huge gate, moved forward at high speed, and arrived at Ghost Valley. She turned around and blinked at Tang Haikyu. Director Tang, welcome to the place where I used to live. Tang Haikyu was still suffering from motion sickness. The speed of the shuttle bus was so fast that he didn't even have a clear view of the scenery outside the window. He just felt a whoosh and changed places. While dizzy, the assistant helped Tang Haikyu get out of the car. In a trance, Tang Haikyu seemed to see an old man with a fairy style. In the next second, he only felt a blur in front of his eyes. This fairy-like old man had already appeared in front of him. In the blink of an eye, a distance of 100 meters was covered. The Lord of Gigo stared at Tang Haikyu, and his voice squeezed through his teeth. Rebel, don't tell this old man, this is another master of yours. Tang Haikyu. Poor director Tang, please give him a ticket for his heart. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 1015. The Master of Ghost Valley can't count how many masters his apprentice has worshipped. Although he stood in the first place with an absolute advantage, and other masters were no match for him, he was still worried. He also heard that she has a master designer. Could it be this one? The Lord of Ghost Valley looked Tang Haiqiu up and down several times with unfriendly eyes, and snorted coldly, "Why did you come here suddenly today? Aren't you going to film a drama?" After finishing speaking, he waved his sleeves, and took Tang Haiqiu and others to teleport directly into Ghost Valley. Ghost Valley was originally a paradise of singing birds and fragrant flowers, and now it is a popular attraction of the Ministry of Eternal Tourism. There are signs on both sides of the road, which read affectionately, "Plants and trees are poisonous, please take care of them." Tang Haiqiu closed his eyes, then opened them, and found that the big teleportation fairy method he wrote in his 3 fairy tales has actually been realized in this way. There was only one thought left in his mind. The quick-acting Juxin pill that Sci-fi gave him was very useful. According to his shock level, his heart would burst right now and he would die suddenly. But now he is standing here with his eyes blank, his brain is very clear, and he can't faint even if he wants to faint. "Master, it's not my teacher. This is the director Tang Haiqiu who I told you about and took me to film the first TV series." Sci-fi ran over with a slap in the face, squeezing his shoulders and back for the Lord of Ghost Valley. "Isn't this going to be the second Xiangxia drama? I thought that there is a ready-made place in the Eternal Continent, so I don't need it for nothing, so I brought director Tang here." "Oh, it's the director." The Lord of Ghost Valley touched his beard and finally smiled. "I watched the TV series made by Ching Ching, but I didn't expect that you grew up under the red flag and accepted the concept of materialism. But to be able to shoot Xiangxia drama so well, it's good, it's good." Tang Haiqiu. Who is he? Where is he? What did he hear? What the hell is this place? What kind of magical existence is this old man? Let's be a god for the time being, but why do you even use the philosophical term materialism so handily? The assistant and assistant director are not much better, especially the assistant director. Tang Haiqiu kept Sci-fi's advice in mind, and originally distributed the medicine to other people. But the assistant director waved his hand and said that he had a very good heart and didn't need to take medicine, so Tang Haiqiu didn't give it to him. The assistant director's pupils contracted violently, his legs softened, he sat down on the ground, and began to roll his eyes. With sharp eyes and quick hands, Shang Lu immediately opened the deputy director's chin, and forced him a 7th version quick-acting heart-rescuing pill, as well as a bottle of water. The assistant director finally took a breath, but still had lingering fears. How did he know his heart would burst like this? If there is an early warning, he must take a bottle of medicine first. The Lord of Ghost Valley rolled up his sleeves and casually pointed at the lake, and several fish jumped up. He threw these fish to Shang Lu. "These anchovies were cultivated by the old man not long ago, go roast a few for the directors." Sci-fi also skillfully started to make tea, and shared a cup with each of the director team. The herbs in these tea bags are specially selected by her, which can prolong the life of ordinary people. Not everyone can enjoy the longevity fruit in the Palace of Longevity. If ordinary people on the earth eat it, they will die because they cannot bear the force and explode. Although the Eternal Continent and the Earth were originally supposed to be the same world, the direction of the two is different, and the people in the two worlds also have certain differences in body structure. Tang Haiqiu carefully picked up the teacup, took a sip slowly, and immediately felt refreshed. He exhaled slowly, and then began to carefully observe the surrounding environment. The mountains and rivers are beautiful, the grass grows and the warblers fly. There is mist in the woods, and the sunlight falls through the leaves, leaving a colorful reflection. Tang Haiqiu's hand shook. This is exactly one of the residences of the heroine of Changxian in his dream. There is also such a forest in Nanzhou, but there are factories around the forest, which is not as natural as here. Tang Haiqiu let out a breath slowly, his hands trembling more and more. Fucking, what is this place? This is Ghost Valley, which belongs to the Eternal Continent. I fucking briefly described the relationship between the Eternal Continent and the Earth. We can enter at any time. Director Tang, don't worry, it is still very easy for me to protect you of. She and Yuzian are in harmony with each other, and their hearts are in harmony. Yuzian, as the only descendant of Wujian in the Eternal Continent, cannot escape his perception of every move in the Eternal Continent. As long as he wants to, he can know anything. Tang Haiqiu was so shocked that he lost his voice. You mean, here is another multi-dimensional world with the same root and origin as the Earth? It's just because of different development directions, one evolved into a magical world, and the other became a high-tech world. That's right. I fucking nodded, and she blinked. I thought I'd have to explain it to Director Tang, but now it seems that there's no need to explain it anymore. The Lord of Ghost Valley also nodded. Teacher, this director is very receptive, and he can deal with it? Tang Haiqiu fell silent, still digesting a huge amount of information. No, he didn't want to accept it. Is it a question of whether he accepts it or not? He is already in this magical world. The multiple worlds and parallel worlds are still different, because the Eternal Continent and the Earth originally belonged to the same world and were finally split into two, while the parallel worlds are two worlds that do not interfere with each other. I fucking continued, using science is also it makes sense that parallel worlds are equivalent to other living planets hundreds of millions of light years away. There are many such worlds, and there are also high-tech worlds like ours. Tang Haiqiu nodded slowly. It does seem to make sense. Of course, there is also a pure fairy world. I fucking raised his eyebrows. When I have time, I can guide you to a certain fairy world for a stroll, and I will definitely get more inspiration. Tang Haiqiu's expression was stiff. You, send me to the fairy world, to go shopping. It's a simple sentence, but the amount of information inside is bursting. It's true that he is the director of Xiangxia drama, but it doesn't mean that he himself will travel into the world of Xiangxia. Since it's a TV series, can I act as a teacher, said the Lord of Ghost Valley. Is there any role that is suitable for this old man? Hearing this sentence, the assistant's hand shook and threw the script out. But the script did not fall to the ground, but floated steadily in the sky. With a touch of the Lord of Ghost Valley's hand, the paper flipped through quickly, and soon he found the character he wanted. Well, this hidden old man is not bad. The Lord of Ghost Valley made a final decision. Is it okay for the old man to play the role? Tang Haiqiu was shocked. No. Absolutely not. Does he dare to refuse? Master, you don't just want to hit me, do you? I fucking pointed to the script, looking at the Lord of Ghost Valley with a gloomy gaze. This hermit old man is a crucial figure on the heroine's path of cultivation. Without this old man, the heroine would not be able to break through the bottleneck. But at the same time, the old man was very strict, and the heroine also suffered a lot of injuries under his hands. How is it possible? The Lord of Gigo was very calm. Is this kind of person as a teacher? Sifu tilted his chin, and drew out his tone. You are. The Lord of Ghost Valley was furious. Traitor. By the way, Director Tang, do you see if my clone is suitable? I fucking stood up and squeezed his wrist. I can shoot the plot of the female lead and the second female lead at the same time. We save time and effort. Before Tang Haiqiu had time to answer, he just felt a blur in front of his eyes. The assistant covered his mouth and looked in shock at the two fuckings who were exactly the same but had completely different expressions. They obviously have the same face, and there is no extra makeup to embellish it, but relying on the difference in the curvature of the eyebrows, it makes people think that they are two people who have nothing to do with each other. The heroine is cool and unrestrained. The second female, she is dissolute. Well, I have to change my clothes too. I fucking looked at his sportswear and snapped his fingers. I read in the script that the heroine wears black and the second female wears red. In the next second, her clothes also changed. One is a black dress, and the other is a red dress. Perfectly played two different roles. Once she stands there, that is the pinnacle. Tang Haiqiu pressed his heart, exhaling more air than inhaling, as if he was about to be unbearable. This medicine is too powerful, why is he still dizzy? The assistant held back for a long time before choking out a sentence. Director Tang, Mr. Si can even change clothes, and we can save the money for Fu Huidao. Tang Haiqiu took a deep breath. Is it because you have a strong ability to accept? Director Tang, you can't blame me, the assistant comforted him. There is a good saying, join if you can't beat it. Tang Haiqiu didn't know how many times he fell silent. He waved his hands blankly, asking the photographer, who was also about to faint, to try a scene for Si fucking first. Without Qin Ziyu holding back, Si fucking played against himself, and the visual effect it brought was extremely terrifying. As a director, Tang Haiqiu has already forgotten the Eternal Continent, and is only immersed in this scene. The Lord of Ghost Valley walked around to the director's team with his hands behind his back. Not bad, not bad, my apprentice's acting skills are really good. Ghost, old Mr. Gigo. The assistant director was taken aback and said tremblingly, this is our shooting equipment, you can watch it here, just press this button. Of course this old man knows how to use it. The Lord of Ghost Valley looked disgusted. This old man can also play HandsomeMaleLead, can you? I have played more than 5,000 levels of HandsomeMaleLead. Deputy Director. He has a ghostly look on his face. It's hard to imagine that a worldly expert who can raise mountains and rivers to the ground in a chat and laugh likes to give up Xiao. He is indeed not as good as he has only reached the 3000 level in HandsomeMaleLead. The assistant director wiped off his sweat and dared not speak any more. Ghost Valley. Ghost Valley. At this moment, a voice sounded over Ghost Valley. Accompanied by it, there is still a rumbling thunder. The Lord of Ghost Valley gritted his teeth. Moi Wan, you old ghost, get out, I won't welcome you now. Director Tang, the assistant stammered, according to your script, someone must have called at your door. Tang Haiqiu stared at the black cloud vortex in the sky, already heartbroken. Let him pass out quickly. Boom. A thunder fell, and a figure appeared on the ground. Hey, Gigo, so many people come to visit you. Lord Moi Wan was a little surprised. What are you playing? The old man is acting with his apprentice. What are you doing here? The Lord of Ghost Valley rolled his eyes. The old man doesn't have time to fight with you today, so go by yourself. What? Acting? Let me see, let me see. Lord Moi Wan became excited. I want to act too. As soon as he snatched the camera turned into a black screen. The assistant director was silent. They almost forgot that this is a magical world without electricity. Why is the screen black? Lord Moi Wan shook the camera strangely, and suddenly realized, oh, it must be out of battery. In the next second, there was a stab sound, a white light flashed, an electric current was injected into it, and the camera resumed operation. Deputy Director. Photographer. Oh, I haven't practiced in vain for the past 3 years, and I finally learned how to charge. Lord Moi Wan nodded with joy. I'm really good. The Lord of Ghost Valley gave him a piss, virtue. The assistant's throat rolled, and he said with difficulty, Director Tang, we even saved money for hiring actors. Tang Haiqiu said angrily, do you still want to talk about the electricity bill? The assistant shrank his neck, not daring to speak again. He also began to worry about the mental state of the audience in advance. When the drama Changxian is broadcast, what kind of sensation should it cause? The assistant didn't dare to think about it. But he believes that this is a magical drama that can surpass Walking the Devil. Hashtag Changxian hashtag. Hashtag Changfairy Lord hashtag. Hashtag Qinziyu hashtag. Hashtag SI fucking hashtag. When the crew of Changxian was shooting a scene in the Eternal Continent, the hot searches related to the drama quietly made it to the list. Congratulations to Xiao in advance for winning the title of Fairy Maiden. The filming should start today, right? Changxian will definitely become the #1 fairy drama. Looking forward to Xiao's performance. Let me just pass by. If Qin Xiao was chosen for Changxian, it would be impossible to surpass Walking the Devil. Sci-fi's acting skills are there. Qin Xiao's fans were instantly angry. It's a fact that Sci-fi hasn't produced any works for 3 years. No one knows what she's been doing these 3 years. Are fans so loyal to protect the Lord? Fans of Qin Xiao, don't be sour. You know who you are. Even in the skin of passers-by. Your sister's 2 TV dramas have become the queen of the Grand Slam. When will your sister win a Best Actress award? Director Tang didn't say that Qin Xiao was cast in Changxian, right? What are you celebrating? Hee, even if it's not Xiao, it's not Sci-fi. Do you know why Sci-fi doesn't take on variety shows? Because there is no director looking for her at all. The Moose still didn't care. The edited video should be edited, and the writing of the same humanities should be written. Sci-fi's raw picture has killed everything in seconds. There is no need for them to edit the picture. At 12:10 noon, the crew of Changxian released 2 stills. One red and one black, good and evil duel. Director Tang, I don't want to stay in this world anymore, smiley face. I feel like I'm writing and writing about Fanwai may also exceed my expected word count of 55,555. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 1016. Red is flamboyant. Black is cool and paranoid. One hand wraps tool, and the other holds a heavy knife. The two opposites are full of tension. What's even more amazing is that it's clearly the same face, without any extra makeup or darkened eyeliner, yet it can perfectly play the roles of the devil in red and the fairy in black. I'm crazy. Oh my god, when did Qing win Changxian? Wait, is there a person in Changxian who plays 2 roles? No matter what it is, I'll lick the screen first to show my respect. The long-lost Xiangxia costume. I haven't watched a drama in the past 3 years, I can't watch it at all. Judging from these 2 still photos, the storyline of Changxian has probably been changed. I guess director Tang found that after Qing played the heroine, he couldn't find anyone who could pull her limits in acting, so simply let her play alone. Laughing, a certain fan went on to say, the more you say, the more works our baby Qing has. Don't you really think that you can be compared with Qing if you are top-notch? The Moose began to carnival under the official Weibo of the Changxian crew, and various lucky draws were also organized in Kaihua. Many costume dramas are often the pinnacle of the drama. But Sci-fi's drama is not. The makeup photos are just the beginning, and the finished drama will bring people a greater visual impact. Qin Xiao's fans also know that Changxian will release official materials today. They have been squatting on the official Weibo of the crew early in the morning, waiting for the Weibo to be released, and immediately started team building in the comment area. There are several kinds of promotional documents needed for team building, but now they are stunned and mad. Last year, Qin Xiao made it all the way to the finals in the national audition for the heroine of Changxian, and her fans already regarded her as the only heroine. Fans never expected that the role of the heroine of Changxian would fall on someone else. Sci-fi shamelessly stole Xiao's role. She didn't even participate in the heroine audition, so why is she the heroine? A certain person hasn't come back for 3 years, and as soon as he came back, he went backstage to grab the role of the junior. Why does Sci-fi like to grab Xiao's things so much? She was also on Xiao's romance drama, and she even went to smash the scene. Changxian is a fairy tale drama that Xiao has been waiting for a year. Sci-fi, why do you want to destroy her dream of fairy tales? I haven't been back for 3 years, why never come back? The big fans immediately bought the hot search linkage marketing account, and directly sent the entry about SI fucking snatching Chinzio's role to the hot search. Hashtag SI fucking, grab the role hashtag. Hashtag Chinzio, become a fairy lord hashtag. Chinzio's fans also began to send Weibo together to insult SI fucking and snatch Chinzio's role in the entry square, one thief at a time. It's the first time I've heard that this is called grabbing a role. No, if I were the director and SI fucking wanted to play the role, I would definitely give it to her. Can Chinzio fans not see clearly the difference in strength between your sister and the actress Glenn? 3 questions to Chinzio fans: have you signed the contract? Has the strength passed the level? Is Bai's boss Fu Qing? How many major directors of Glenn invited her to act in movies, and you, Chinzio, also matched her to grab the role? Passers-by, since Chinzio is still a traffic star, fans still buy her endorsements if they have time. What's the use of only buying hot searches? It's annoying to watch too much. Why buy an endorsement? I don't want to spend money on brands. There is chaos online, tit for tat. But at this moment, the crew is already immersed in the joy of filming, without being disturbed by foreign objects at all. The scenes set in Tang Haikyu's script can be found in the Eternal Continent, and they are pure and natural and do not require any special effects for processing. The Eternal Continent is a magical world, and SI fucking didn't want to disrupt the operation of this world, so he didn't bring the high technology of Freedom Continent here. So Lord Moiwan acted as a humanoid generator. He found charging very interesting, and showed it off to the Lord of Ghost Valley from time to time. The Lord of Ghost Valley ignored him at all, but pulled the assistant director aside and taught him how to get rid of Xiao. The assistant director listened with trepidation and humility. He was always afraid that the next second he would offend the great god, and the other person would be gone. Although the magical world is very interesting, there are more dangers here, and people will die from time to time. According to the routine in fairy tale fantasy novels, generally speaking, the more plainly dressed an old man is, the more terrifying his strength will be. Fucking, thank you so much. Tang Haikyu solemnly thanked SI fucking. I never thought in my life that I would make a divine drama. You gave me this opportunity. How could he not know that SI fucking brought the crew here specially to film the drama Changxian together? Everything that had been in his fantasy finally came true at this moment. So far, this is no longer a simple play, but a real world. Director Tang, without your walking the devil, I would not have won the award. SI fucking was also very serious. She smiled. You have made me, of course I will help you realize your dream. Tang Haikyu sighed. It's a good thing you're back, otherwise I would have to lower my standards and go to Changxian. This is something I don't want to see. In the past 3 years, traffic stars have occupied the market, and they need doubles in dramas and literary dramas. Even eye drops are used for tears, and special effects are used for riding horses. Tang Haikyu was unwilling to let his hard work go to waste. With the help of the Lord of Ghost Valley, the assistant director successfully passed level 3209. He wiped his sweat. He felt that he was not worthy of being a modern person. How could he not be able to play games like the old man in the magical world? When the assistant director was extremely sad, suddenly, a thunderbolt exploded above his head. Boom! There was a huge roar, the red clouds rolled around, the morning glow was brilliant, and the mountains and rivers shook. What, the assistant director jumped up all of a sudden. Is the big devil knocking on the door? Help! The owner of Ghost Valley was still holding his mobile phone, and he glanced at him with disgust. Look at you, kid, what are you making a fuss about? It's just someone broke through and got out. Don't panic, it's all yours. Deputy Director. Boom. Another thunderclap broke the sky. In the next second, a phantom of a long sword appeared in the sky. This phantom was extremely imposing, and suddenly slashed straight at the distant mountain peak. Crack! The mountain cracked at the sound, and the birds, beasts, fish, and insects scattered one after another. The assistant director's jaw dropped to the ground along with his cell phone. Tang Haiqiu also opened his eyes wide, looking at the sound made by the sound. His eyes were burning. Ugh! The white figure came out with the sword behind his back, rushing forward. Getting closer, Tang Haiqiu could see that this was a handsome man in white. The body is like a jade tree, and the talent is astonishing. Tianya sword immortal, Changjing. Changjing laughed loudly. This is called breaking mountains and rivers with one sword. He landed on the ground, raised his hand and waved it. The dust on the ground disappeared in an instant. His white clothes were spotless, detached, and independent. As soon as I left the customs, I saw you all here, so I thought there was something important, so I hurried to get together. Changjing smiled. I didn't expect that you were filming a movie. Tang Haiqiu almost cried with joy. This is simply the sword fairy in my dream. The actor who played the role of Sword Immortal became an instant hit because of this drama, and won numerous Shidi awards. But every time Tang Haiqiu reruns the drama Sword Immortal, I always feel that something is missing. Seeing Changjing now, he finally knows what a real sword fairy is. The detachment that has been accumulated for thousands of years cannot be performed without the experience of thousands of years. Yu Huixiu, who had been closing her eyes to rest, suddenly opened her eyes and looked towards Changjing. I fucking keenly sensed the changes in Yu Huixiu's body. She raised her eyebrows. Do you want to fight? Yeah, Yu Huixiu had already stood up. He has been practicing in closed doors in the Eternal Continent for the past 3 years, and now that he's out of the closed doors, he has made a lot of breakthroughs, and he can fight me. I fucking blinked. That's good, you have a partner for fighting. Changjing naturally heard the sentence. His expression froze slightly, and he was a little helpless. We are all filming, so we go to fight. This is not good. It's nothing bad, Yu Huixiu said flatly. There is no role you want to play. We will go to Tianke to fight, and we will not take advantage of you. She has inherited the power of the goddess of death. If it is in the swamp of death, her strength will increase exponentially, and she will be immortal. Changjing snorted, and didn't respond immediately. He looked in the direction of the Hall of Eternal Life, thoughtful. Don't look. Yu Huixiu tilted her head, her voice was even lower. Fuzang is preparing for reincarnation, you can't find her. Changjing fell silent. It's really not the right time for him to go out. Look, there are so many devices here. If we fight, it will cause the phenomenon of heaven and earth, which is not good for filming. Changjing persuaded again. It's better to change another day. Before he finished speaking, Tang Haiqiu slapped his hands and said excitedly, yes, no problem, let's fight. I will add a fight between ancient immortals and demons. The more intense the fight, the better. Yu Huixiu looked calm. Did you hear that? Changjing. He regretted leaving the customs at this time, and met Yu Huixiu, a pervert who just wanted to fight. Yu Huixiu squeezed her fist. Her expression was indifferent. Let's go. Changjing still took off the sword, and remained silent for a while before saying, then be gentle. See your performance. Thus began a duel between the spiritual and divine realms. As Changjing said, such a fight between the two spiritual realms will affect the vision of heaven and earth. The glare of the sword, the sharpness of the sword exploded. Tang Haiqiu captured all these in the camera with quick eyes and hands. This segment doesn't even need to be edited, so it can be called Feng Shen. The assistant hugged the assistant director excitedly and started dancing. Director Tang, this is incomparable even with top-notch special effects. Our show is about to be released. Tang Haiqiu was also unbearably excited. He originally had a fairy tale dream, that's why he keeps making fairy tales. He never thought that one day, he would be able to shoot scenes completely on the spot. Yu Huixiu and Changjing fought farther and farther away, and seeing that they were about to disappear, Tang Haiqiu also stopped recording this episode. He let out a breath slowly, and couldn't wait for the show Changxian to be released. Shua Shua. There were a few more sounds of the air being torn apart, and a figure stepped out from the space crack. It was Yu Xian and Huo Yangxing. Aju Si trotted forward, hugged Yu Xian's waist, and took the opportunity to touch his abdominal muscles. He didn't grab her hand, instead he brought her hand to his body, leaned down and whispered in her ear, "Just want to touch." Si touched it again, confidently, "That's right, I only touch it." Yeah, Yu Xian touched her face and said lightly, "Scumbag behavior." Si fox eyes widened, "You are slandering me." Cough cough, a cough sounded. It took two people to realize that they had overlooked one person. Si quickly withdrew his hand and waved towards Huo Yangxing, "Big cousin." Ching Ching. Huo Yangxing stepped forward and nodded at her, "Are you still filming?" And Si nodded, "The progress is very fast, and the filming will probably be finished in a month." Huo Yangxing thought for a while, "If there is a role that needs a cameo, I can play it." "No problem." Si looked serious, "I will never be soft on the matter of oppressing you. I will create opportunities for you to interact with third senior sister." Huo Yangxing. How could his idea be seen through like this? Is it that obvious? Huo Yangxing started to flip through the script to see which role was suitable for him, and he could also call Yu Jian. At 6 o'clock in the evening, Great Xia Empire. A big fan of Qin Zhao with millions of fans posted a Weibo. At a few days ago, Zhao went to an audition, and a certain senior also went, but he came out in less than 2 minutes, still crying and no. But it's not clear, why is Zhao crying? So it's coming out soon? Obviously it is the final audition for the female lead, why is the time so short? Let the benevolent see the benevolent and the wise see the wisdom. This is the end of the talk. I am very tired. I don't want to anything else, and I don't want to drag others into trouble. Si name was not mentioned in every sentence, but every sentence did. Qin Zhao's fans became even crazier and uttered more insults. Si studio is calmly collecting all the evidence and preparing to issue a lawyer's letter. The team doesn't hold back when it comes to this kind of thing. Sister sang, they're so embarrassed to say that, the manager assistant couldn't help complaining, "These fans are really blind, and they have persecution paranoia, we don't want to talk to them." Sang Yanking moved his wrist, and sneered, "They want to step on Ching Ching so much, of course I can't be soft, and I have to treat him in the same way." Hung Entertainment is good at creating pure-blood traffic stars, with thousands of marketing accounts and tens of thousands of Navy teams. Qin Zhao's popularity seems to be extremely high. It just so happened that she borrowed Qin Zhao's heat to let Qin Zhao's team know what it means to stand higher and fall harder. "Hey, Director Tang, it's me." Sang Yanking dialed Tang Haikyo's phone number. "Is there any video of the scene between Ching Ching and Qin Zhao at that time?" "Alright, please send it to Director Tang." After the call ended, Sang Yanking immediately asked the new media to promote and edit Weibo copywriting. She wanted everyone to know that after 3 years, Si was still able to prove with his strength that in the entire entertainment industry, in terms of acting skills, no one could beat him. Good morning. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 1017. Always let some people know that not everyone can touch porcelain, and everyone can be trampled. They are all in the entertainment industry. Sang Yanking doesn't believe that Qin Zhao's team doesn't know that fans are making such a big fuss. Then there is only one reason. Qin Zhao wanted to use his fans to attack Si and become a perfectly invisible victim. Since Qin Zhao didn't restrain the fans at all and hid behind the fans, then let's try the taste of being backlashed. Sang Yanking was not relentless, and she urged, "Don't miss anyone who insults Ching Ching." The agent assistant nodded, Yes, all the list and evidence have been sent to Ting law firm. At the same time, Qin Zai's studio. As Sang Yanqing expected, Ruan Chengfang and several studio assistants have been paying attention to the movement of public opinion on the internet. Qin Zai didn't stop him either, but just watched with cold eyes. The studio's joint marketing account has ended up abusing fans and solid fans several times, and the effect is indeed very good. Under the leadership of the big fans, many small fans crazily insulted Sci-fucking, and there were many obscenities. The heat is here. Ruan Chengfang let out a long sigh of relief. Just now I have confirmed with the director of the Wind and the Sea and signed a contract. When the time comes, we will release the news of your role as the heroine, and the heat will continue to rise. Qin Zai bit his lips, and finally showed a smile. Okay. The next thing is for you to come forward, Ruan Chengfang said. You will post an apology to Sci-fucking on Weibo later, and then. Sister Ruan, the new media publicity suddenly interrupted Ruan Chengfang. The other party sent an audition video. Ruan Chengfang was taken aback. What audition video? Qin Zai seemed to have thought of something, his expression changed, and he rushed to the computer. On the screen is a freshly released Weibo, which comes from the account of Sci-fucking studio. @V, thanks for the invitation from Ching Ching has confirmed to play 2 roles, let's take a look at the big devil played by Ching Ching. Video. The video is only 30 seconds long, perfectly showing Sci-fucking's momentary change of expression. In the picture, she approached step by step and stood still in front of Qin Zai. Her smile was light, and her eyebrows were light. If I kill you, who in this world would dare to say no? The tone was not very strong, and the voice was still smiling, but it contained a certain kind of powerful explosive force, and the sense of oppression hit instantly. Oh my God, Ching Ching is so good at acting, Ching Ching will marry me. And then, when the screen turned, the camera moved to Qin Zai's body. Qin Zai's face turned pale, and the next second his legs went limp, and he fell to the ground directly, and he didn't even utter a word of the subsequent lines. I remember that the heroine should fight back in this scene. Qin Zai, what's the matter with you? Isn't that right, Qin Zai, you can't even get a word right? It can be seen that Goddess Si didn't grab the role at all. It was Qin Zai who didn't match up for the play. No wonder director Tang changed the script on the spur of the moment. The main character's rivalry is too important. You must find 2 people with the same level of acting skills to act against each other, otherwise the plot will not continue at all. Qin Zai fans, you can see clearly with your eyes wide open. Is this the aura of acting you boast about? Are you trying to laugh at me to death so that you can inherit my spicy strips? Soon a blogger from a video site edited a comparison video, which included a comparison of Sci-fucking and Qin Zai's several film and television dramas and variety shows, including red carpet photos. It can be clearly found that the characters of several TV series shot by Qin Zai are also very similar to Walking the Devil and The Female General of the Kingdom, but they are suppressed to death in terms of acting skills. Even the red carpet looks are copied 1-to-1. During the 3 years when Sci-fucking was away, Qin Zai's fans boasted that Qin Zai was a red carpet killer, which paled in comparison. Laughing to death, Qin Zai's fans treat other celebrities with a heavy blow. Why are they pretending to be wronged by their boss Fu Cheng? Because I know that I can't compete with fans in terms of strength and can't beat passers-by, let alone be able to compare, so I have to sell it badly. The car was overturned after selling miserably. Can Qin Zai stop catching Goddess Si to pluck her wool? Not compared to the number of fans, but only compared to passers-by, Qin Zai's nationality is not even 1/10 of Sci-fucking's. Many viewers who only watched movies and TV dramas expressed that they had seen Qin Zai's face and knew her name, but they didn't match her at all. But the weight of Glen's actress and Grand Slam queen is extremely important in everyone's mind. Qin Zai's team was caught off guard before their next plan was launched. Chinzio's hands were shaking, looking at the comments on Weibo, his face turned pale little by little. The look of the new media promotion is also ugly. Sister Ruan, what should we do now? Are we going to proceed according to the original plan? Why are they moving so fast? Ruan Chengfang took a deep breath. What's going on with the crew? After speaking, she immediately called the assistant director. After 7 or 8 rings, the other party answered the phone. I don't know where the crew is now, and Ruan Chengfang also heard some kind of unknown animal roar, which made my scalp numb. But he couldn't hold back his anger at all. Why did the crew release the audition video? This is an invasion of the artist's privacy. Ms. Ruan, hello, this audition includes not only Ms. Jean, but also Teacher Si. The assistant director was very polite, and his tone of reply was polite and distant. If the audition artist wants an audition video, we will naturally release it. Do you have any? What's the problem? You guys, Ruan Chengfang was shocked and angry, but she couldn't find anything wrong. Sang Yanqing was silent for 3 years, and she almost forgot how tough her classmate was. Sci-Fi's team didn't even link up with any marketing account at all, and without losing face, they directly used the studio's account to release this audition video. This is a complete rip-off. Sang Yanqing, what do you mean? Ruan Chengfang called Sang Yanqing again. She gritted her teeth. What's the end of the matter between fans? Do you have to make things big to be happy? Sang Yanqing smiled calmly. That's not okay. Our artists are the most used to fans, and of course they have to do it themselves when encountering such a thing, and there is no need for fans to be troubled by it. Some fans are young, and learning is the most important thing. How can they be distracted by irrelevant people and things? Star chasing, of course we must give them a clean and happy environment, don't you think so? After a pause, she seemed to be a little surprised and said, why, you have been analyzing Kinking's character design for so long, but you haven't learned the most important point? This is not very professional. Why don't you ask me for advice, and I will analyze it for you? Boom. Ruan Chengfang was so angry that she threw the phone out. Her chest kept rising and falling. This Sang Yanqing. She knows that there are too many fans to control, but she is still so serious. Chinzio sniffled and asked in a low voice, Sister Ruan, what should we do now? It's still the old plan. Ruan Chengfang swallowed. It's just that the effect will be worse, and some people may lose their fans. You have to be mentally prepared, but the remaining fans are your strongest backing. In the past half-month, Chinzio lost many fans. Those who leave are rational fans, and the rest are the craziest. Chinzio nodded, pursed his lips, and posted a Weibo as planned. At V, please don't make noise, it's because I'm not as good as others, I know my shortcomings, and I'm learning from my predecessors. Please look forward to my new work, I will definitely bring you better works. We've more work. We have your back. Some seniors are old and disrespectful, and deliberately expose people's scars, and the double-duty fan has turned black, and only one person will be fanned in the future. I am thinking that Goddess Si will be less than 24 this year, so she's getting old. I'm sorry, as long as the Goddess Si is around for a day, the scholar will never be able to rise to the top. Are you angry? Very disappointed. Originally I wasn't so sad, but I feel that Chinzio is just taking advantage of his fans. Why didn't he clarify earlier? Do he have to wait until the fans are slapped in the face? Fans are gone, and the world is gone. As Ruan Chengfang thought, there is indeed another group of fans who have lost fans. She hated Sang Yanqing and Si so much, but she had no choice but to tell Chinzio, Zio, we must never appear on the same occasion as Si in the future, be careful of being treated as a stepping stone by her. You are still young, you have many opportunities. Chinzio nodded silently. She wiped away her tears and patiently studied the script of The Wind and the Sea. On the other side, Si studio. Sister sang, "It's hard to be a good learner again," the manager's assistant complained, "it's really annoying." "Let her sell it," Sang Yanking clapped his hands, and sneered, "The soldiers came to cover the water and earth, how much blood did she suck in 3 years? Let her spit it out bit by bit. It's not so painful to press to death all at once. Give her some hope and then throw her into the abyss to see if she still dares to step on Ching Ching on purpose. She's a very protective person." The manager assistant nodded, "I'll make a call to Director Tang to see what they're doing now." She dialed the WeChat video call of the assistant director. The screen quickly lit up, and the focus was the assistant director's wind-blown hair and his distorted expression. "What's the matter? I'll talk about it later, when I land. I can't breathe right now." With a click, the phone slipped from the manager's assistant's hand. Her eyes were dull. Sister sang. "What's the matter?" Sang Yanking was in a good mood, and asked the crew for a few still photos and sent them out. I just saw. The manager assistant stammered, "I saw the assistant director flying into the sky on a big firebird." Sang Yanking. "Eternal continent." The assistant director went through a life and death cycle, and when the firebird landed on the ground, he collapsed under the tree. His legs were so weak that he didn't even have the strength to stand up. He has worked with Director Tang for a long time, so he also participated in the script. In the script, it is written that the immortals fly with the beasts and shuttle among the clouds, very chic. But after he really practiced it, he found that he was not a fairy, and his whole body was almost shaken to pieces. "I won't come, never again." The assistant director began to vomit. Let's film well." Sai, the Lord of Ghost Valley, threw a medicinal fruit to him in disgust. "It's really useless, no wonder you are not as good at Zioxinol as this old man." At night, the crew stayed in Ghost Valley. Tang Haikiu and the assistant director saw the real scene of high-rise buildings rising from the ground. With a wave of Sci-Fi's hand, the empty land cracked, and a villa took shape naturally. "Director Tang, this is too amazing." The assistant was very envious. "Miss Si is really amazing. Miss Si can do many scenes that even the special effects can't be done. This time I really want to produce a drama." Already. Tang Haikiu's whole body also became ecstatic. "It's unbelievable," the assistant sighed, "this is really something I couldn't even dream of." He also had a conversation with a tree today. "Everything is wonderful and magical." At this moment, Si just came back from Tianqi. She netted a basket of fish and carried it slowly. 2 people followed behind. One was Yu Huixiu with a blank face, and the other was Chang Ying, who had been slapped in the face. "Teacher Si," the assistant director waved at Si in surprise, "come on, the first teaser is out, and we plan to post it on Weibo. Because there is no need for any post-production special effects processing or even sound recording, only simple editing is required, and the production of the trailer is also extremely fast." Si stepped forward, looked with his head, and lazily said, "I think it's fine, there's no problem." "That's good," the assistant director nodded. "Director Tang, we posted on Weibo." At 7 o'clock, the new Weibo was released. At V, the first teaser is coming. Click to see at V with one person playing 2 roles. Moose and the audience came after hearing the news. What is the speed of the Changxian crew? Didn't the filming just start? Why did the trailer come out? Director Tang's speed is too fast this time. It's so fast that it makes me flustered. Let's take a look first. I can't wait to watch the movie, so it's not too much to show 10 episodes a day, right? Of course, some black fans would ridicule that the release of the trailer was so fast. They must have cut corners and used Si name to gain popularity. But after the 3-minute trailer was played, even the keyboard warrior couldn't find a place to be black, and could only choke out a sentence, "I don't understand, it's so ugly, I fell asleep after watching it for 3 minutes. My God, this big scene, this special effect, I just ask which blockbuster can compare? I haven't watched much film and television dramas in the past 3 years. When Changxian came out, I began to think about whether our domestic TV dramas have developed to this level. The previous one, of course not, it's just that Changxian killed other dramas. I declare that Changxian is the pinnacle of this year. Is this really a special effect? Why do I think it is not? No, it can't be true, can it? The audience also found a problem, it seems, a little too realistic. On the screen, Sci-fi rises into the air again. She waved her hand, and above the sky, wind, rain, thunder, and lightning came at the same time. Good morning. Chapter 999 is worth celebrating. I wish His Majesty Ching Ching has other CP 999. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 1018. In the depths of the blue-purple sky, roaming dragons roared and phoenixes hovered. The sword in Sci-Fi's hand called the wind and the rain, causing the sky to collapse and the earth to collapse, as if it had reached the end of the eternal world. Whether it is the use of light and shadow or the setting of sound effects, it has brought great visual impact to the audience. The 3-minute trailer was watched repeatedly by netizens, and the number of views increased exponentially. So realistic, this special effect technology is really 100 layers ahead of international blockbusters. I am a fan of science fiction and fantasy films. It is no exaggeration to say that the scenes of the TV series Changxian are not as good as any movie. Oh my god, it feels like this trailer burns money every second. Has director Tang made a fortune? Why does no one believe me? This is definitely not a special effect, this is a real world. You have all been deceived by Sci-fi, she must be a fairy. If you look carefully, can the light and shadow be made by special effects? I heard that the technology in Liberty Island is quite advanced, maybe I borrowed the technology from there. Netizens hold their own opinions, and there are indeed a few people who firmly believe that this is not a special effect, but all real photography. Hashtag Sci-fi Ching flying up hashtag. Hashtag Changxian notice hashtag. Hashtag one sword triggers thunder hashtag. Hashtag is there really a fairy world, hashtag. This is Sci-Fi Studio. Sister sang the new media publicity is very exciting. MSSI has dominated the top 10 searches again, we don't need to promote anything at all. The cruise action is really fast. Sang Yanking also marveled, the filming technology has improved a lot. I was worried that I would not be able to surpass Racing the Devil, but now it seems that my worry is completely unfounded. With the pearls of Walking the Devil in front, she has been very worried about the response of the drama Changxian. In particular, Sci-Fi's starting point is too high. She won the Best Actress of Glenn at the age of 20. Although there are many fans, there are also many people watching with cold eyes, waiting for her to fall from the peak and make way for them. Sang Yanking was very afraid that the audience's expectations for Sci-Fi would be too high, which would make it impossible to fulfill this expectation in the end. How many actors will only have one pinnacle work in their lifetime, and the lack of follow-up of works after the peak seems to have become a common problem. Facts have proved that as long as Sci-Fi is there, she can create new myths. Sister sang. Some netizens actually guessed the truth. The manager assistant scratched his head and said, they actually found out that this trailer doesn't use any special effects at all, and it's all shot on location. What real scene shooting? Sang Yanking raised his hand and tapped her on the head, aren't you awake? Sister sang, believe me, I really saw the assistant director flying in the sky riding a bird bigger than a tiger. The manager assistant blurted out, that bird can breathe fire, it must be where they are going, it's on the spot. Okay, Sang Yanking was amused, our anti-crime campaign at this stage has been completed, and we will visit the crew tomorrow. Broker assistants are ready. If there is a big flamingo, she will ride it around the sky. The trailer of Changxian was also posted on various social forums on the internet, and audiences around the world were stunned. Some international mainstream media began to comment on the drama Chang Xian starting from this trailer. It's hard to imagine that this is the shooting level that current TV dramas can have, whether it's sound effects, artistic light and shadow, or costume design, they are all pinnacle works. Although it is only a trailer, the organizing committee has already seen the potential of this drama, and looks forward to Miss Sci-Fi's wonderful performance in Chang Xian, commented by the organizing committee of Jushan Award. 5 years ago, Walking the Devil let us see the excitement of the traditional Daxia-style fairy tale costume TV series. 5 years later, Chang Xian returned with a higher level of technology. Sci-Fi is worthy of being the best actress of Glen and the Queen of the Nine Heavens awards. She only needs one look and a smart expression to draw you into her fairy world. Congratulations to Sci-Fi and director Tang Haiqiu. We've come up with a great one. International Weekly Review. I am a designer, and as I am old, there are not many costume designs that can make my eyes shine. However, the service of Chang Xian is extremely brilliant, which makes me admire. To construct a real world, the costume design must be closely related to the times, and it is very difficult to avoid any mistakes in details, but Chang Xian did it. I will watch this TV series. Everyone is also invited to watch. Comment by Gu Wenzhou, Chief Designer of Land Design. More and more professionals have given extremely high praise and praise. However, there are also some media that are always eccentric and emphasize that although the special effects of Chang Xian are very realistic, there are too many colors of light and shadow, which forms light pollution and is very messy. However, these deliberately belittling negative remarks cannot affect the global popularity of Chang Xian. The trailer is out, the finished film is not far away, right? Can we see it tomorrow? What? Can it be finished tomorrow? Okay, I made a note. Pass it on. Chang Xian will end tomorrow, and Chang Xian 2 will start broadcasting. Poor kid, I haven't seen any good TV series in the past 3 years. I look forward to Chang Xian. The TV series The Wind and the Sea also officially announced today that the heroine is Qin Ziyu, but apart from Qin Ziyu's fans, no other netizens paid attention at all. There were over 100,000 comments on the official Weibo, but all of them were posted by fans in advance. Qin Ziyu's studio team specially bought high-ranking hot searches, but because the popularity of Chang Xian was too high, they were so suppressed that they couldn't even make it into the top 10. It's hitting the day again. Ruan Changfang stared at the data in the background, gnashing her teeth. 1 time, 2 times and 3 times is a coincidence, and the 4th time? I think they did it on purpose, and specially picked this day to release the notice to suppress your traffic. Even if it is a modern drama, there is no one that can produce a trailer just 2 days after filming, let alone a fairy tale drama that needs special effects restoration in the later stage. In order to overwhelm Qin Ziyu, the crew of Chang Xian rushed to produce this trailer overnight. Qin Ziyu stared at the lightning and thunder in the trailer. The heroine in black made the world bow down for her, and all things were terrified. Even though she hated Sci-Fi very much, she had to admit that the scene was enough to send the audience straight into the pit. But these honors should have been hers. If Sci-Fi came back after she became the heroine of Chang Xian, her role would not be taken away at all. Seeing that Sci-Fi's fans continued to grow, Qin Ziyu only felt like ants were biting his heart. There is nothing more intolerable than having something that she could have had in the end being taken from her. Sci-Fi has already achieved fame and won many mainstream awards. Why can't he take a step back and give the stage to newcomers? Sister Ruan Qin Ziyu raised his head, his voice trembling. I still can't swallow this breath. I should be the one who attracted fans today. Ruan Changfang also hated her teeth, but she suppressed her anger and comforted her. This is the end of the matter. It's useless to talk about it, but Ziyu, people are doing it, and the sky is watching. She steals your role, steals your highlight plot. Sooner or later, it will be robbed by others. Qin Ziyu remained silent, his nails dug into the depths of his palm. Her career line was too smooth, and within a month of Sci-Fi's return, she had suffered a crushing defeat, and she had no chance to resist. Don't feel bad, Ruan Changfang sighed, I'm going to Glen in a few days, let's pack up and leave a good impression on the international media and celebrities. Qin Zhao let out a breath slowly, and responded coldly. The next day, morning. A huge sun rose from the horizon, and the red-gold light illuminated the sky, like a red fire burning in a white lantern, and the morning glow was brilliant. Sci-Fi and Yu Xian lay on the grass, looking at the rising sun. She stretched out her hand and grabbed a fallen flower floating in the distance. Aju, do you feel that your luck is stronger? Hearing this, Yu Xian turned sideways, supported her head with one hand, raised her other hand, touched her head, and smiled slightly. Yes, very powerful. Their luck has been integrated with the eternal continent and the earth, and their luck is interlinked. Not only will their own strength increase, but even the level of the world will gradually increase. In the former eternal continent, many spiritual practitioners were stuck at the peak level of the Holy Spirit realm, unable to break through for a long time. But now, the eternal continent is full of aura, and the barriers with other worlds have also been broken. Breaking through the spiritual realm is no longer an unattainable dream. Higher levels such as Sci-Fi and Yu Xian can already break through the void when they are in the eternal continent. The Earth is still a world where high technology is developing rapidly, but with some ores and other unknown elements provided by the eternal continent, technology has been greatly improved. This is the real complementarity, achieving a win-win situation of mutual benefit. If Yunxia really makes the holy day come and merge the two worlds again, the result may not be as good as he expected. The world barrier of the eternal continent has disappeared, and the Hall Master is going to pick a small world to play in. Sci-Fi blinked. Mom and Dad also plan to visit other small worlds. Yu Xian turned her head to look at her with deep eyes and a smile on her lips. Where is the girl? Do you want to go out? I want to, but I still can't find where my sister is. Sci-Fi was silent for a moment, with a lonely expression. I don't want to go to the so-called higher world that Yunxia said, I just want to wait for her here. Lu Qingning's soul is scattered in several different small worlds. She has already fixed all the locations, and made a passage to ensure that Tan Jingmo can go back and forth without hindrance. But she still couldn't capture Ye Wanlan's figure. This may be hope, but it may also be a dead end. Yu Xian rubbed her head and smiled softly. She knows you are waiting for her, so no matter where she goes, you will meet again. Yes, Sci-Fi lay flat on his back, looking up at the sky. Perhaps my sister is somewhere at this time, looking at the same starry sky as me. It's just that I don't know what the world Ye Wanlan is in will look like. The cell phone rang at this moment. Sci-Fi pressed the call button. Hello, Sister Sang. Although the eternal continent does not have any high-tech products implanted, the people who come in will be equipped with signal transmitters and receivers, so that they can communicate with people on Earth. Ching ching, we have arrived at Liberty Island. Sang Yanking's voice came from the microphone. Why do you still need to take the bus? Where are you filming? Sci-Fi got up. Sister Sang, wait, I'll pick you up. Sang Yanking replied, okay. Okay. She patted the weeds on her body, narrowed her fox eyes and looked into the distance, and saw a bus stopped in front of the gate of Ghost Valley. Sang Yanking and the manager's assistant supported each other to get out of the car, throwing up faintly. With a swish, Sci-Fi appeared in front of the two of them. Damn it, the agent assistant was so startled that she almost fell down. She stammered, Si, Mr. Si. When did you come? I didn't even notice you. I just came here. Sci-Fi casually handed 2 pills to the two of them. It was filmed here. Come in, you guys came really early. Director Tang and the others haven't woken up yet. Without saying a word, the agent assistant swallowed the medicine and poured another large bottle of water. Mr. Si, where is this? Which scenic spot in Liberty Island? You don't know, I saw the assistant director riding on a big flamingo. Her voice stopped abruptly, and she stared blankly at a red bird that landed beside Si fucking. Si fucking patted Fekin's head. You mean Huo Huo? Huo Huo and the others are of the Huo Huo family, they are very fast and can take you for a flight. The agent assistant was stunned for a moment, and with a squeak, she passed out happily. Sang Yanking was silent for a moment, then said slowly, "Don't tell me, the trailer was not produced, but shot in real time." Si fucking raised his eyebrows, and said lightly, "Yes, real-time shooting." Sang Yanking, let me calm down. Si fucking raised his hand and took a step back. Huo Huo also retreated obediently. Sang Yanking took 3 deep breaths and found that she couldn't calm down at all. She raised her hand and was about to slap herself to see if there was something wrong with her eyes. Si fucking stopped Sang Yanking's raised hand in time. "Sister Sang, don't say anything, why beat yourself?" Sang Yanking held her head in pain. "I thought I could get used to it, but I still can't get used to it." "It's okay." Si fucking patted her on the shoulder reassuringly. "I have medicine, it's enough." Sang Yanking frowned. "I'm here to visit the class, and I'll bring you Ian's invitation by the way. Are you ready to attend as the right hand of God?" Yes. I fucking took the invitation from her hand, and wrote lightly, "I'm back, naturally I'm back with everything." At the same time, at 8 o'clock in the morning, Lan posted an announcement on all social platforms. This show, the right hand of the designer God is about to attend, everyone, please look forward to it. Good morning. Chapter 1000. Thank you all for your support all the way. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 1019. As soon as this Weibo was posted, it instantly became a hot topic on Weibo, and it also caused an uproar on major social platforms around the world. God's right hand. Ian's chief designer, and fashion godfather Gu Wenzu's last disciple. The right hand of God has never announced his name or title to the public, and no one knows whether he is male or female, old or young. But Ta's design style is very obvious, whether it is Western style or summer style, it can be easily distinguished. The reason why it is called the right hand of God is because the design circles believe that he has a magical right hand, which can turn decay into magic. Many years ago, the right hand of God relied on a dress to stabilize Ian's position in the design world, and Gu Wenzu finally succeeded. The dresses designed by the right hand of God are chased after all the actresses and actresses of Glen. No one wants to know the true face of the right hand of God. God's right hand has been hidden for more than 10 years, and is it finally coming out? Can't wait to meet you. The first work of God's right hand was 12 years ago. I guess it should be an uncle with long hair. For a designer at the level of the right hand of God, the face is not important at all, what is important is the talent. I originally thought that talent and good looks were incompatible, until I met Si fucking. Baby Ching Ching will go to the show, please take a few more photos of the right hand of God. Si fucking also posted a personal Weibo. Posting the invitation picture. On the picture is a black invitation letter with Ian's seal on it. Do you still remember that you are a female star? Where's the selfie? Where is the address? Let's think about the good. If Ching Ching goes to the red carpet show, we will definitely be able to see more shots. Get out of the way quickly, the queen of the red carpet is here. Hashtag this entry also quickly climbed into the hot search, right under the right hand of God. This time, Qin Zia found no such person on the hot search list. She also posted an invitation, but she was not a VIP, and even posted Weibo 2 minutes earlier than Si fucking. However, it fluttered silently, not even a splash. Qin Zia now believes more and more that Si fucking is deliberately targeting her to suppress her, otherwise how could it be so coincidental every time? But there was nothing she could do, so she could only endure the breath forcefully. Chin Ziyu buckled the phone, enduring anger and humiliation. Sister Ruan, have you borrowed my dress? I borrowed it, and it was also a dress designed by Ian's core designer Ruan Chengfang said. Unfortunately, the dress designed by the right hand of God will never be borrowed. Chin Ziyu nodded, with a cold expression. I fucking can either wear Zhejianjiao's or room. I won't compare with her, but I can't lose to her either. I think so too. Ruan Chengfang nodded. Don't worry Ziyu, your fan disk is still there, and the company will definitely protect your fashion resources. Chin Ziyu closed his eyes. As long as she doesn't collide with Si fucking, and finds another opportunity to chat with the right hand of God and establish a good relationship, her fashion resources will be unmatched. Who doesn't know that the right hand of God is Ian's real backbone? Thinking of this, Chin Ziyu's mood improved. She will definitely be able to surpass Si fucking. 2 days later, the Eternal Continent. Si Fu turned to Tang Haiqiu to ask for leave, and was going to go to Glen to participate in the red carpet catwalk. In the past 2 days, under the guidance of the Lord of Ghost Valley, the assistant director has been playing match 3 games like a bamboo, and the customs clearance has been very smooth. Hearing Si fucking's words, the Lord of Ghost Valley put down his phone and snorted slightly. I haven't met your teacher yet, this time I just happened to go meet with you. Si fucking stroked his chin, and looked the Lord of Ghost Valley up and down several times. It was the first time that the Lord of Ghost Valley felt cold when he saw her eyes, and his hair stood on end. Rebel, what bad things are you thinking about? Master Si fucking hugged his arm, and said very seriously, since you have gone, why don't you go to the catwalk by the way? Lord of Ghost Valley. Si fucking added, I will definitely dress you up as the most fashionable old man in the world. Lord of Ghost Valley. Si fucking thought for a while, and then said, at that time, you will definitely be able to lead the world trend, and all the old men will dress in line with you. Lord of Ghost Valley. He finally reacted, no, I'm not going. Why is his apprentice's heart getting darker and darker? Master, this is one of the few requests I have. Si fucking clasped his hands together and looked at her eagerly. You must be reluctant to refuse me, right? The Lord of Ghost Valley wanted to say that he was very willing and cruel, but after meeting his apprentice's eyes, his heart softened. Okay, I promise you as a teacher. Si fucking's voice was brisk. I knew you, master, are the best. The Lord of Ghost Valley was blown away for a while. Director Tang, call me if you have anything to do. Si fucking shook the phone again. If the phone runs out of battery, you can ask Senior Moiwan to charge it for you, and we will treat this place as our big summer. You go to Yongan City for a stroll. Because they belong to the same world and belong to the same root, the Yongan City in the Eternal Continent is indeed no different from the imperial capital of the Great Xia dynasty thousands of years ago on Earth. In the past 3 years, Yu Zian also often went to Yongan City to reminisce about the past years. Si fucking also plans to contact director Qin to make a drama about the ancient costumes of the Great Xia dynasty, which happens to be filmed in Yongan City. Tang Haiqiu smiled and said, all right, go get busy. Our filming is going very fast this time, and it is expected to end in 1.5 months. He also can't wait to see the final film of Cheng Xian. Si fucking waved his hand and left with the Lord of Ghost Valley. Before going to Glen, she went back to 49 City. She was not idle during the filming break, and took the silk from the Eternal Continent on the spot, and made a skirt for Xiao Bai. Bai Jinyu wowed, Juju, is this a little skirt for me? Of course. Si Fu smiled, you have recovered a lot, you can go out for a walk. Didn't you say you want a lot of nice little skirts? Yeah, little skirt. Bai Jinyu happily picked up the dress. She took off her home clothes very simply, and was about to change into a dress directly. The door was knocked at this time. It was Xiaoyu, teacher Si, Xiao Bai. Before Si fucking could speak, Baijinyu habitually responded, "Come in." Xiaoyu pushed the door and entered, only opening a crack. Si immediately waved his hands, "Don't look." With a bang, the door was closed again. Baijinyu was a little dazed. 99. In the future, when changing clothes, you must close the door, and don't let anyone in, or go to the bathroom to change. Si emphasized with a serious expression, "You are not in the shape of a brave man, you are a little girl, and you must not lift your skirt, understand?" Baijinyu tilted her head, and suddenly asked, "Juju, what is skirt up?" Si paused, and when he was thinking about how to describe this problem, he saw Baijinyu lift up her skirt excitedly, and asked her with an expression that was about to praise me, "Juju, is that so?" Si rebellious woman. She hardened her fist. "Forget it, what do you care about with a stupid Pixiu who doesn't have any physical knowledge?" When he was Pixiu, Xiaobai didn't even need to wear shoes. Although she has turned into a human being now, Baijinyu has not yet had the habit of being a human being, and still retains the animal nature of Pixiu. She has to teach little by little. This is absolutely impossible. Si immediately put down her skirt. There are a lot of perverts now. When you go to school, you must protect yourself. Baijinyu nodded in confusion. Si sighed, and rubbed her head. "I'll write you some precautions, and you must act according to the above, okay?" "Okay." Baijinyu raised her hand, "I'll listen to Juju." Si took out a piece of paper, thought for a while, and began to write one after another. At the same time, she was also very worried. She was afraid that after Xiaobai's memory and spiritual intelligence were all recovered, he would be so deceitful. Outside the door, Xiaoyu was also a little dazed. His hand was still on the doorknob. "The scene just now began to flash in my mind." He slightly raised his head, and for the first time felt the heat spread from his forehead and cheeks to his neck, and finally swept his whole body. Xiaoyu immediately turned around and went downstairs, splashing cold water on his face. He went out, ready to go to the garden to relax, when he ran into Feng San, who came back with a flower pot. Feng San glanced casually, and suddenly said, "Young Master Xia, why is your face so red?" Xiaoyu patted his face calmly, and said calmly, "I'm fine." Although he didn't look carefully, and didn't see anything exactly, he only saw the girl's shoulders and collarbone. But such a momentary glimpse had a great impact on him. "Need to calm down." Feng San nodded. Without asking any further questions, he put down the flower pot and began to water the flowers. 10 minutes later, Si also came out. Xiaoyu paused, then stepped forward. "Mr. Si, just now." "It was my negligence." Si shook his head slightly. During this period of time, Xiaobai's soul has indeed gathered a lot faster, but her spiritual wisdom is still undeveloped, and her heart is still a child, and she doesn't understand anything. Xiaoyu listened quietly, humming a few times from time to time. "She looks easy to deceive. In the past, you can deceive her away with gold." Si looked serious. "After her sanity recovers, when you go to Xia University for classes, you must keep an eye on her. I'm afraid she will be deceived by someone with malicious intentions, so I will trouble you." Xiaoyu raised his eyebrows, and his tone was drawn out. "Well, I would like to follow Teacher C's instructions, and I will definitely keep an eye on her. I'm going to Glen, continue to collect luck, and leave the rest to you." Si patted him on the shoulder. She didn't feel anything wrong at all, and handed over this important task to Xiaoyu with confidence. With his hands in his pockets, Xiaoyu raised his head and glanced at the private jet parked on the lawn. He looked lazy, with a smile on his lips, and even his voice was loose. "Teacher Si, go slowly. He will definitely take good care of Xiaobai and not let her leave his sight." At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Glen, the International Film and Television Center, the highest hall of art. After 3 years, Sci-fi finally stood on this land again. In the past 3 years, Glenn has also changed with each passing day and developed extremely fast. Many new international first-line actors were born, but Sci-fi is still the focus. Many actor and actress queens are also her fans, and they specifically asked her when the filming of Changxian will be finished, and whether a bilingual version will be produced and broadcast globally simultaneously. An actress from the Western continent asked excitedly, "Miss Si, do you play Oracle Fairy? Let's add friends." Si, not yet. She really wanted to know how many people Ji-yoon had poisoned with this mobile game. The actress was a little disappointed, but soon became active again. "Miss Si, it's just the right time for you to come back. The Grain Lifetime Achievement Award will be awarded at the beginning of next year. I am very optimistic about you." Oh, Si raised his eyebrows. "That's indeed a coincidence, but I only have one movie, how can you take care of me?" The actress smiled, "Although it's just a movie, it's also a milestone. When you come back, director Chu will also come out. The next movie has already been discussed, right?" The Glenn Lifetime Achievement Award is selected every 10 years, but not every selection will have a winner. Yunlan was the winner of the last Glenn Lifetime Achievement Award. Now that the time for this year's awards is getting closer, actors from all over the world are getting restless. Si smiled again, "Well, we've settled the conversation, and I won't let you down." The actress hugged her again, "I hope you can surpass Senior Yunlan." The two separated. Si held a glass of red wine and walked to the corner. "Isn't this Miss Fu Kingsi, Arda Xia Dingliu Si?" A blond man raised his eyebrows and walked towards her. "I heard that you filmed a TV series and a variety show this year. Why stop making movies?" Si tilted his head back with a calm expression. "There are quite a few actors who have won the Glenn Best Actor Award at a young age, and Ulysses Bearman is one of them. At the age of 24, he became Glenn's youngest actor. He is 37 years old this year. He holds the Glenn Best Actor Award for 4 times. He was also named by the media as the next most likely to win Glenn Lifetime Achievement Award. Ulysses himself thought so too. In terms of awards and qualifications, there are not many people who can compare with him. But until the appearance and return of Si let him see the former Yunlan. The same age, the same race, and even the same suddenly disappeared. But unlike Yunlan, Si came back. "Miss Si, even if you have Chu Lingyun's help, you should know that you are not my opponent." Ulysses smiled slightly, "You only have the movie light, you don't think that the movie will be able to win the Glenn Lifetime Achievement Award, right?" He is bound to win the Glenn Lifetime Achievement Award this time. 10 years ago Yunlan took this award from him, and he will never give it up 10 years later. Ulysses Si shook the wine glass in his hand and smiled, "10 years ago, you were my defeat. Why do you think you will be successful in 10 years? Good morning. This drama is coming to an end. Next is Xiaobai and Xiaoyu, starting a sweet campus love. I haven't written a campus essay yet, give it a try." You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god author, Qing Qian. Chapter 1020. There are only 7 people who have won the Glenn Lifetime Achievement Award since its inception. Among the 7 people, Yunlan was the only Daxia native and the only woman. It was also Yunlan who broke the situation that the international film and television industry was dominated by men, and the organizers specially created a gold-plated female statue for her. Yunlan not only made great contributions in the field of film, but also greatly promoted the improvement of women's status. That's why her achievements are so far unsurpassed. Of course Si still remembered Ulysses. 10 years ago, Ulysses and she competed for the Glenn Lifetime Achievement Award, and when the first 6 were men without exception, the chances of a woman winning the award were indeed very low. Ulysses has already prepared her acceptance speech. However, everything is based on strength. Her contribution is far greater than Ulysses. She won the 7th Lifetime Achievement Award, and the trophy changed from a gold-plated male statue to a gold-plated one. Carrie added. Ulysses' smile disappeared bit by bit, and his expression turned cold. Miss S.I., do you know what you are talking about? Don't say that I have never met you 10 years ago. 10 years ago, there is no such person in the entertainment circle. Am I your defeat? He watched the people of Daxia just shoot Xiangxia dramas every day. His imagination was too wild, and he no longer remembered who he was. Really? S.I. fucking nodded slowly, still unhurried, and said in a calm voice, I remember you standing in front of me like this at that time, sneering at me, saying that the award will definitely belong to you. Who gave you the sense of superiority? Is it because the award committee favors you? Ulysses' expression finally changed. He couldn't help thinking back 10 years ago, the night of the 7th Glenn Lifetime Achievement Award. He thought that only men could get this award, so even though Yunlan was his strong competitor, he didn't take her seriously. And because Daxia's film and television industry started late, he couldn't hide his arrogance, and mocked Yunlan from head to toe before presenting the award. But Yunlan never looked at her directly, and remained calm from the beginning to the end. Ulysses finally found out why he hated S.I. fucking so much. It was because she had the same rebelliousness as Yunlan, but she had more detachment than Yunlan, which had been settled over time. Humph, Daxia people, you are a virtuous person. You really know Yunlan. Ulysses gritted his teeth and sneered, she even told you this kind of thing, but don't be complacent. Yunlan can get it Glenn Lifetime Achievement Award. I am not as good as others, but I will never lose to a yellow-haired girl like you. Just wait and see. His face was extremely ugly, and he walked away angrily, completely ignoring that this was a public place. This scene was naturally photographed by the media and posted on the official website of the International Weekly. Burst. Ulysses Behrman, winner of 4 Glenn Best Actor Awards, and S.I. fucking, the youngest Glenn actress after Yunlan, are at odds. It was a very clear video, which captured Ulysses and S.I. fucking's unhappy breakup. 2 well-known figures in the film and television industry instantly caused an uproar in the international entertainment circle. What's the noise? Why is Ulysses so anxious? What quarrel? Isn't this Ulysses alone outputting crazy? He was the one who came together first, and he was the one who ran away. Does anyone understand lip language? What did the 2 of them say? I see. Ulysses seemed to be mocking S.I. fucking for not getting the Glenn Lifetime Achievement Award, telling her not to be so confident. One thing to say, what Ulysses said is correct. The Glenn Lifetime Achievement Award already requires a great contribution in the field of film, and S.I. fucking also won a Best Actress award. Ulysses can't compare. Waiting for the winner of the Glenn Lifetime Achievement Award at the beginning of next year. In terms of qualifications and awards, I will still stand for Ulysses. Chu Lingyun has never cared about the major news in the entertainment circle, he only pays attention to his own works and S.I. fucking. After seeing this news that dominated the world's major social platforms, he immediately contacted S.I. fucking. Hello, S.I. fucking pressed the answer button. What's wrong? I saw the video, Chu Lingyun said. It's been 10 years, and Ulysses is also an uncle who is going to be 4, right? Why do you still like to mock you like before? S.I. fucking said flatly, unfortunately, I found the wrong partner. She never likes to say much to these cynical people. Slapping face with strength is the most powerful counterattack. His mouth is stiff all over the body, so ignore him. Chu Lingyun also held back his anger. We will join forces and win the 2nd Glenn Lifetime Achievement Award, but there is really not enough time. Originally I calculated that I could make 3 movies in 3 years, alas. He also didn't ask where S.I. fucking had been for the past 3 years, since she came back. That was the best thing. Si fucking raised his eyebrows, and said in a drawn-out tone, "Actually, I know there is a place where I can make a movie in one day, do you want to visit?" Chu Lingyun was taken aback, "Is there such a place? Even if we cooperate to make a movie, it will take half a year." Si Fu rubbed his chin, "You can think of it this way, in that place, one day is equal to 1 year. After the eternal continent and the earth walk side by side, the time ratio also returned to 1:1. But the silent black room was preserved, and she stabilized it with the laws of magic, time and space, which can perfectly speed up or slow down the flow of time." Chu Lingyun fell silent, and after a few seconds, he tentatively said, "You haven't suffered any violent collisions with your brain in the past 3 years, have you?" Si fucking smiled, "Get lost." Chu Lingyun was ruthlessly hung up by her. He scratched his head and muttered, "I didn't ask wrong. But since Yun Lan can rejuvenate, it is reasonable for such a magical place to appear." Chu Lingyun looked serious, and immediately entered the working mode, preparing to hand over the 3 scripts he had polished in the past 3 years to Si fucking for filming together. The much-anticipated annual Glen Catwalk is coming on July 3rd. In addition to models showing some new fashion products, actors from various countries will also walk the red carpet. Sang Yanking pulled Si fucking up early in the morning to make a pose. Fortunately, her skin has always been very good, and she doesn't need any concealer to correct her appearance. Yu Jian also took over the job of makeup artist. This night witch, who is extremely good at disguise, has very skillful hands, and soon designed a brand new makeup. "Well, our Xiaju is so beautiful." Yu Jian was very satisfied. "I will change into the skirt later, it will definitely kill all men, women, and children." Si fucking squeezed his shoulders, and said quietly, "Third senior sister, my neck is about to break." "There is a price to be paid for beauty," Yu Jian said earnestly, "look at me, I have been steadfast in fighting in high heels." Si fucking leaned on the chair, "That's because the high heels are your weapon, and they are full of blades hidden inside." She suddenly felt deeply worried about the future of her eldest cousin. At this moment the door was knocked. "Ah, here we come." Yu Jian turned her head, "Then I'll go first." Si fucking waved his hand. Yu Jian went out and Yu Zian came in. The man was tall and straight, and his dark gray suit outlined his perfect figure. He wore an evening dress on his arm, which was golden, grand but not tacky. Yu Zian put down the dress, first took out a jewelry box, and then walked behind Si Fu leaning over. He raised his hand and put a necklace on her. His fingertips flicked across her neck. Obviously the temperature was cold, but it set off a tingling electric current. Si fucking could feel his broad chest touching her back, the temperature came through the clothes, and her shoulders trembled slightly. He keenly noticed her reaction, and leaned down slightly. "What are you shaking?" Moonlight Osman thus wrapped her up and spread it slowly. He put his hand on her shoulder again. "Is there tickle meat here too?" Si fucking called to stop in time, crossing her hands in front of her chest. "Stop. I'm about to take the stage, you are forbidden to tempt me." Hearing this, Yu Zian lowered her eyelashes, and said in a flat voice, "I don't." At this time, he was like a wounded lion, drenched by the heavy rain, and even his deep eyes seemed to be misty. Si fucking patted his head, sighed that it was a good touch, and subconsciously said a word, "It can be done after the end." After finishing speaking, Yu Zian twitched his eyebrows slightly, and he smiled, "Okay, I will distinguish the time clearly." Si fucking. Too bad, she fell into the trick of the black-hearted monster again. Yu Zian lowered her head, took out a golden crown from the jewelry box, and put it on her head. Si Fu glanced at him, "Where's my ring? Now is not the time." "Smoothie." He touched her face, his palm was warm, and smiled lightly, "I have always been stingy about your affairs and never shared them with others." Si fucking blinked, and stretched out his hand towards her, Mr. Yu from RM, are you interested in walking the red carpet with me later? Yu Zion looked at her deeper and deeper, and said in a cold voice with a slight smile, it's an honor. He will give her the best, give his all. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, the catwalk officially kicked off. Chinzia was not the VIP invited by Lan, she could only walk the front of the red carpet with other non-VIP stars, and she couldn't leave her autograph. Over the years, there have been many celebrities on the red carpet. Chinzia is very proud that she can get an invitation letter. Kaka. The sound of the shutter being pressed sounded, and Chinzia unconsciously straightened his back even more. There were whispers from the media and the audience in the audience. Does anyone know which star this is? It looks good in temperament and appearance. Big Xia face, then he is from the same place as Miss Si fucking. It turns out that I'm from the same country as Miss Si, so it's no wonder there's a kind of classical beauty, but it's still not as good as Miss Si. Miss C's face is not comparable to anyone in the Western continent. I really like watching her costume dramas. Chinzia still maintained a perfect smile, but jealousy was growing crazily in her heart, and it had already eaten away at her internal organs. It's Si fucking again. Obviously she came to the Glenn show by relying on her own strength. Why did these media reporters want to mention Si fucking? Could it be that she will live in Si fucking's shadow for the rest of her life? Chinzia regretted it for the first time. She has been tied to the title of Little Si fucking since her debut, plus she has been deliberately imitating Si fucking. Now she can't get rid of Si fucking's shadow completely. Chinzia's lips were pursed tightly, and her movements were a little stiff, but she had to finish walking the red carpet, otherwise it would damage her image. Look, Si fucking is here. At this moment, someone suddenly yelled, Shua, and everyone looked to the right. The tall girl burst into thousands of shots. She was wearing a golden dress, wearing a crown, earrings and necklaces are matching. Shit, I died insanely. What kind of fairy face is this? Oh my god, this outfit is really pretty, but the first thing I noticed was baby Qing's face. I finally saw Qing walking the red carpet again. Foretell, this look will top the annual fashion list. Oh, by the way, Chinzia has also promoted the queen of the red carpet. Why did your red carpet look be blown away when your sister Si came back? Chinzia also wore a long golden dress today. But it is true that all colors are eclipsed in the face of true beauty. Chinzia didn't even dare to turn his head, and walked even faster. No one paid any attention to her anymore, and all the focus was on Si fucking. The next second, another figure got out of the car, and the first thing that came into view was a pair of slender legs. The man is young and handsome, with broad shoulders and narrow waist, and a perfect figure. He raised his hand, gently supported the girl, and walked in with her. The media were also shocked, and the action of pressing the shutter became faster. Chief Zero. Family members who have solved the case. Why did Chief Zero participate in the romance drama Single Going to Hell? Of course, I fell in love with my girlfriend, which is called falling in love at public expense. Is this an official announcement? Can I just dance my fairy CP in front of the Lord? Fairy couple. The two walked to the end of the red carpet before they separated. The screen was also divided into two parts at this time. One part went away with Si Fu, and the other part concentrated on Yu Zion. Everyone expected Si fucking to sit in the VIP seat, but Yu Zion sat on the other side. This is not the seat of actors, but the domain of major fashion brand companies. As he sat like this, the sound of gasping around could be heard. Obviously, even the photographer was stunned for a moment, and the screen trembled violently. Quickly take a picture of the nameplate. What are you doing in a daze? I'm dying of anxiety. The camera moved down and landed on the table, with a nameplate in front of it. 4 words are clearly written on it, Chief RM. The audience suddenly fell silent, and all sounds disappeared. There is only one thought left in everyone's mind, and they agree with each other. You, the chief of the International Intelligence Agency, why did you go to set up a luxury brand? Good morning. I'm really busy and dizzy during this time. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 1021. No one can link the intelligence agency with the luxury of international fame. These are two fields that are completely irrelevant. Even the media fell silent, unable to make any sound. The audience couldn't imagine a zero chief who decisively kills and only haunts the night is also the executive chief of RM. Is this what people do? At this moment, all eyes were on Yu Zion. The man embraced his arms, his slender legs overlapped, his dark gray suit was pressed properly, his shoulders were wide and his waist was narrow, and he was born with a clothes rack. There are no extra pendants on his body, only a watch on his left wrist, and the cufflinks are modeled in shadow. The watch looked old, but when worn on him, it added a bit of dignity. He was born with such a powerful charm and aura, wherever he sat, he was the emperor's seat, overlooking all living beings. Until the backstage director was the first to come back to his senses and guide the photographer to the next shooting. But after the camera moved away from Yu Zion and returned to the stars walking the red carpet, the audience couldn't return to their senses. I'm stupid, I'm really stupid. I must have been a blessing in my previous life, and I actually saw a face that is more delicate than modeling. This face is simply uncanny. Excuse me, I always thought that the chief of RM was a middle-aged uncle. Brothers and sisters, the case has been solved. I know when my CP was established when Qing Qing became the global spokesperson for RM, the two must have a very good relationship. Don't talk about it, I'll go back and dig out the old candy to eat, knock CP and do it myself to have enough food and clothing. Even with Ulysses Behrman, winner of 4 Glenn Awards, on the red carpet, it was difficult to keep the audience's attention. Under the stage, Qin Zio's nails had been dug into the palm of his hand, almost oozing blood. The unprecedented jealousy was gnawing at her internal organs, like 10,000 insects biting her in an instant. Sure enough, Sci-Fi's popularity did not depend on strength alone. If Yu Zion hadn't given her the position of RM's global full-line spokesperson, Sci-Fi's fashion resources would never be able to grow. Isn't it because of the man, or the face? What else is there to be proud of showing off in front of her eyes? Qin Zio lowered his head to hide the hatred in his eyes, but his hands shook uncontrollably. If she was able to make her debut at that time and hook up with Yu Zion, she would be the one standing here today. Compared with Sci-Fi, what she lacks is not strength, but luck. Qin Zio has always believed so firmly. No one's luck will last forever, she is waiting for the day when Sci-Fi falls down. The red carpet is over, there is an intermission, and the show officially starts at 7:30. Glenn has always been generous, and prepared a lounge for every star who came to the scene, or a single room. Qin Zio was also allocated a room. Without the camera, her face turned cold, and she didn't need to set up any more avatars. Just as she was about to open the door to go in, there was a sound from the door next to her. Qin Zio turned his head to look a little irritably, his eyebrows raised. It was a girl in her 20s, wearing a simple white dress and without any jewelry, but her temperament was very dusty, with a broken beauty. Lu Man? Good luck, you actually came to Glenn's scene. Qin Zio glanced at the girl casually, and smiled contemptuously. Aren't you supposed to be playing tricks in Witch Crew at this time? The girl's movements stopped, and she turned her head slowly. This has nothing to do with you. She ignored Qin Zio, and closed the door after she pushed the door in. Etc. Qin Zio's cold voice sounded. She grabbed Lu Man's wrist and pulled her into the lounge. Afterwards, Qin Zio looked at Lu Man unabashedly from top to bottom, and his smile deepened. Your clothes are nice, but I don't like them. As she spoke, she raised her other hand and stepped forward. Lu Man was obviously familiar with this action. As soon as her expression changed, she tried to avoid it, but she didn't succeed. Stab. With a harsh sound, the dress was torn. Ah, what should I do? Chin Zio asked in surprise. Your dress is torn, why did you attend the show for a while? You can't show up in such tattered clothes and embarrass us, Daxia. Chin Zio, have you finally revealed your true colors? Lu Man didn't cry or fear, her voice was very calm. It seems that you haven't lost yourself by imitating teacher Si. The implication is that no matter how imitated it is just a fake, and it is still vicious in its bones. Si fucking, Chin Zio sneered. Yes, I can't compare to her, and I can't compare to you. You will be supporting me on the stage of Youth Girl, and you will also be supporting me in the future. Don't think you'll make it this time when you come to Glen. I'll let Sister Ruan tell the company, and then I'll let you play tricks. Lu Man, you should be trampled under my feet for the rest of your life. She has already figured it out clearly, if she doesn't compete with Si fucking, she can keep her remaining fan base, and she can go smoothly in the entertainment circle. K. Luman? Lu Man was the one who was born to be her match. It was and it is now. She would not give Lu Man any chance to become famous. What a pity, you only have the set of dresses, right? Chin Zio stretched out his hand, patted Lu Man's face, and smiled deeper and deeper. I don't know how much you paid for the set of dresses. Don't want me to lend you a little? Otherwise, if the creditor comes to your door, wouldn't you have to sell yourself? No need. Lu Man slapped Chin Zio's hand away indifferently. I cut the cloth myself, and I don't need money. Hearing this sentence, Chin Zio's eyes became colder, but her lips curled up. I understand, you came to Glen to try your luck, to see if you can meet those top designers. What a pity, you have no hope, you should play tricks in peace. After the warning, Chin Zio backed out and returned to his lounge. The door was wide open, and there were people coming and going. Lu Man was still sitting on the ground, completely silent. Are you okay? A voice sounded at this moment, and at the same time, Lu Man saw a hand. I'm fine. Lu Man shook her head. She avoided the hand reaching towards her, and was only about to stand up by herself. However, that hand held her arm irresistibly and lifted her up. Lu Man staggered, then raised her head abruptly. When she looked over, she met the girl's curved fox eyes, and she was stunned. Si, teacher Si. Si fucking was a very distant existence to her. She never thought that one day she would have such close contact with Si fucking. When this so-called divine face appeared in front of her, it had a huge impact on Lu Man. She stared blankly at the girl, unable to hear any sound. A sprained ankle, Si fucking squatted down halfway, and groaned, it might hurt a little, bear with it. Before Lu Man could speak, a heart-rending pain came from her ankle in the next second. She let out a muffled snort, but she insisted on not shouting out. Okay, Si fucking clapped his hands, I connected it to you. She treats you like this all the time. Lu Man was stunned for a moment before realizing who Si fucking was talking about, and hummed lightly, I'm used to it, that's how she bullied me in junior high. As she spoke, she still couldn't help crying, it's just that she hasn't wanted to let me go. She said that I stole the boy she likes, but I don't know that boy at all. Si fucking's expression was indifferent. I understand, school violence. I'm here today to try my luck, to see if I can make friends with a designer. Lu Man lowered her head, pinching her skirt. I don't want to be a star, I just want to learn design, but skirts. But she was too poor, and her parents favored sons over daughters, so she had to sign a bawang contract with Jusheng Entertainment. Chin Zio is the person that Jusheng Entertainment strongly admires, and she must follow the order of Jusheng Entertainment to set off Chin Zio. Apart from her, few people knew that Chin Zio was the initiator of campus violence when he was in junior high school. It's just a broken dress, Si fucking said flatly. I have plenty of this kind of thing. Lu Man was stunned again, and she said, Teacher Si. Let's go. Si fucking took her hand. I have designed a new set of clothes, and I don't have a model yet. Would you like to be my model? These words made Lu Man's tears fall even more fiercely. Teacher Si. Why are you crying? Don't cry. Si fucking said lightly, you will be standing in the center in a while, so let's go. 30 minutes later, Chin Zio came out of the lounge. At this time, there are still 20 minutes before the show officially starts. Instead of returning to her place, she went backstage. But she failed to get in, and was stopped by the security personnel. You are not allowed to enter here, please go back to your seat. Hi, I don't intend to interrupt. Chin Zio smiled. I heard that the right-hand teacher of God will be on stage soon. I wonder if I can meet him first. I can talk to him. Did you see it? The security guard interrupted her and pointed to the other side. There are all stars who want to see the right hand of God, and there are many actors and actresses in it. They don't have any privileges. How do you think you will have any? Chin Zio's face flushed red all of a sudden. Shame and embarrassment instantly overwhelmed all the thoughts in her mind. She had no face left, and returned to her seat in despair. Calm. Chin Zio took a deep breath. When the right hand of God officially appears, she will always have a chance to make friends. At 7:30, the music started and the lights turned on. Looking forward to the right hand of God. I'm so anxious. Can you let the right hand of God appear first? Let me see what he looks like. I originally guessed it was a middle-aged uncle, but Chief RM silenced me. Ian's designers are also looking forward to it, because even they have never seen the real right hand of God. The media also set up their cameras, quietly waiting for this year's big hit. Shua. Just when everyone was restless, a beam of light fell down, illuminating a figure in the distance. As the figure approached, the light moved along with it until it reached the center of the stage. The girl was still in the golden crown dress, with long dark red hair reaching her waist, and the light also dyed her eyebrows and eyes a pale gold. She was so shockingly beautiful that one couldn't help but suffocate her breath. Ah, my wife is here. Baby Ching Ching is an endorsement upgrade. You were the first to come out. Hi everyone, I'm Si fucking. Being an actor is my first career, but the variety show that impressed me the most is Youth and Youth. Si fucking paused before continuing. Being a mentor during those 3 months, I saw a lot of black box operations, and these black box operations made those who really wanted to stand on this stage lose their dreams. The audience and stars in the audience listened quietly. Chin Zio's face changed slightly. What does Si fucking mean? 6 years ago, I said that no one can destroy your dreams. 6 years later, I still insist on this sentence. Si fucking turned his head. As long as you have a dream, it should come true. Shua. Another beam of light fell, and another figure appeared. Everyone held their breath and saw Lu Man in a white dress. The whole place vibrated. Which star is this? How does it feel like I haven't seen it before? This white dress is so beautiful. Is it Ian's product? I remembered, isn't this the 10th Lu Man in Youth Girl? I'm still her fan. This is Lu Man. Oh my god, why didn't I realize that she was so beautiful and very temperamental before? The broken ceiling is over. If I remember correctly, Lu Man and Chin Zio seem to be the same company. It seems to be tricky. Chin Zio's body tensed up suddenly. She stared fixedly at Lu Man, who walked onto the stage. Her mind began to buzz. How is this going? Next, on behalf of Lan, I will announce the plan for the next season. Si fucking held the microphone and said calmly, the dress Miss Lu is wearing is the latest style I designed. The name is very simple. It's Dreams. There was a sound of gasping off the court, and many people's eyes widened. Obviously the sentence brought them a huge impact. Ian's quarterly plan has always been announced by Gu Wenzu himself. Why is it suddenly replaced by Si fucking? The moose are very calm, they have long been used to it, and they don't even need any quick-acting heart-rescuing pills to improve the endurance and stability of the heart. I almost forgot that you are a designer. Is there anything else that our baby Ching Ching can't do? No. The previous look is a fake fan. If I drag it down, I will ask which moose doesn't know that a certain female star can't cook. Got it, she can also fry the kitchen. I declare that you are all black fans, kick away and hug King King's wife tightly. Although I don't like some titles of the secondary school, I still need to introduce myself, lest someone always use my name and pretend to be my identity to design. I fucking raised his head and smiled slightly. This is the first time I meet you as the right hand of God. It is a pleasure to meet you all. Good morning. Today is even earlier. Can you give Ching Ching an early monthly ticket? Ching Ching is really a little angel cook.